Welcome back, everybody, to episode 35 of the Not So Subtle podcast. I'm Jordan Miller, joined as usual by Coulter Potter.
Hello, everyone.
And Dane LaPointe.
What's up, guys?
As our regular viewers know, we're going to be talking about movies, video games, pop culture, and today we're starting off with a little bit of lightning round action, as per usual, but...
It's going to get our coworkers shooting from the hip. Or
of course.
Anyone's coworkers.
Icebreaker questions get your coworker shooting from the hip. They're needed all the time.
Listen, what do we talk about here?
We're going to be talking about movies, video games, and pop culture. Today, we'll be talking about our wacky film that we watched, which was Aliens. That was the movie we picked last week. And
the S is the dollar sign.
The S is the dollar sign. War.
Never changes.
This means war.
This means lots of money for
This means
Fox.
dollar signs. Signs. Gang.
Gang. All right, boys. It's time for round 10.
Okay.
Is it actually round 10?
Yeah, we haven't done every single question, but we've done quite a few of them.
Dane, can you keep score? Okay.
All right. Guys,
I agreed to that.
What's something you could eat for a week straight?
Oh, shit.
Fried chicken.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Damn.
Wait,
that was really fast.
You guys don't like fried chicken?
I don't like it that much. I actually don't even really like it that much at all, but...
The fuck's wrong with you?
I'm
You
not a
ordered
huge
fried
fan
chicken
of
at the
the
last
bones.
restaurant we went to.
Yeah, but that was because... That was different. That was like Asian fusion inspired.
Listen,
Asian
I'm just
fusion.
saying. I'm just saying.
No, I mean... It's not that I dislike it. It's like I don't... When have you ever seen me order any fried chicken related product
listen,
besides like going to like Gizelle's or something?
We don't
once.
go to a lot of fried chicken places, but I mean, if we did, no.
I mean, it's fine. I wouldn't ever order it twice in a row.
Okay.
A week in a row?
Well, what would you
know.
have for a week in a row then?
Probably fettuccine Alfredo.
You're so normie ass.
Or like, I'm trying to think of something that's like...
You're normie ass shite out of here.
That's like pretty filling. You don't have to eat much of it.
Who cares? You're eating for a week. I want it to taste great.
Sure. I mean, maybe like... I was going to say mac and cheese, but that would cause some digestive issues. So I'm not going to say mac
Pizza
and cheese.
Pasta.
Pizza Hut pasta.
Listen, you'd
the
be dead.
ultimate meal.
You'd be dead after the third day.
Look, after one of those, you're clinging onto life by a thread.
That's right. After 2, you have no hope.
After 3,
The doctors
you're
just call it.
glad we live so close to a hospital. Let's just say that. Man, what would I choose? I don't know. Do you know, Coulter?
I was
Are you
just
sure you
going to
want to do
say...
fried chicken, Jordan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure?
I'm keeping score, so I want to make sure that you submitted your answer.
Your final answer. I was going to say just like pasta, like penne pasta with...
From Pizza.
excuse me, it's... What is it, actually? I think it's rotelli. Wait, am I right?
Tortellini?
I can't remember what type it is.
Rossetti pasta.
Yeah, it's like
Rossetti.
twirly.
What
like
is this, Animal
Rossetti.
Crossing?
It's a deep Animal Crossing.
That was a deep cut.
Nice, man.
I don't even like Animal Crossing.
Only you Animal Crossing kids out there will get that one.
I usually get a vodka sauce from Trader Joe's, and that's my go-to pasta sauce whenever I make pasta at home. I also enjoy Alfredo.
Do you make pasta
but
at home a lot?
I do, actually. Yeah, it's the one thing, because it's so easy. You just boil water,
easy.
make some pasta, and then the jar of sauce is as simple as
Dumping.
1, 2, 3
Open
in
it
the
up.
microwave. You set the microwave to a 1, 2, 3.
Do you actually?
For funsies.
I set it for around a minute, depending on
You
whether or
could
not
do-
I had just opened up the can.
You could do 1, 2, 3.
I think I know the answer to this, but do you guys, on your microwave, do you do 100 or do you do 60? Like, if you're doing a minute.
What? Who does 60?
Wait, what?
don't
Is
know.
that a real question?
Yeah. Like, I know
I guess
most people would
60
do
is
100, but like...
Work.
I would do 100.
Okay.
I would do 1002, but I guess
What do you
60
think
is
about
actually...
it?
1002.
less about
That's a long
presses.
time.
Yeah. What do you think about doing it now? Like, oh, why don't I just press 60?
Yeah, I guess I'd never even thought of that as a scenario.
That is interesting because, like, you never really... Well, obviously, you would never think twice about doing 30, like 30.
Yeah.
But I would think twice about doing 60
Yeah.
for a minute.
Listen, it's
I would
not
just
the
do
norm.
100.
I don't do that very often, but sometimes I'm like, oh,
I don't think I've ever done that.
That's right.
Would you do 90?
Yeah,
Could you do 90?
You could.
if you're
Pretty sure.
feeling 100 IQ. if you're feeling 150 IQ.
No, this is
100 is
that could
actually not
definitely-
even that crazy.
That could definitely be a meme, like that meme where, of that person's like intelligence expanding or whatever, and the final one is
Absolutely.
presses 60 on the microwave instead of 100.
What is like the novice level of that?
Like the pre-made whatever. Like
Yeah,
options they
pressing
have.
pressing the one button.
pressing yeah
and then it
pressing
automatically puts
pressing
in
like the popcorn
heat.
button
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
something,
pressing
or
the
like,
popcorn
or like
button,
pressing
yeah.
like whatever it is, like you don't type in anything.
Yeah, anyone that presses the button that says like pizza or whatever,
No,
doesn't know how a microwave
that's
works.
that's poor choice.
it's gonna put it on there for like 5 minutes. And
Now,
your
did you
pizza's gonna be
know
done.
that apparently? Wait, what was I about to? Okay, I might be getting this wrong, but there's like a button or something, or a thing where if you hold 0 or something on the microwave, it resets it, or like it'll like turn off the microwave light, or like it. I don't know. There's some hidden like button on a microwave where if you hold down 0 or hold down like the start button or something, depending on the microwave you have, it will like do something. I forget what it is. Have you guys heard of that?
No, I haven't heard of that.
Oh, it was on Reddit. Someone was like, pro tip, like an actual pro tip. They're like, oh yeah, if you ever want to like blank, hold down 0
If you
on
ever
your
want to go
microwave or
full
something.
power on your microwave real fast.
I wanna look it up and figure out what it was, but I don't know how I'll find it,
You
so
want the
I'll look it
microwave
up
plate to spin
later.
at
Yeah, I was about to
400,000
say.
RPM.
If you
Just
want your
throws
microwave
it
plate
out
to
the
fly
microwave.
out of your fucking microwave like a discus at full
Yeah.
speed,
It just opens the door and just launches
and it just
it.
decapitates you.
What was your food name?
Probably fettuccine Alfredo.
You're so just.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
lose this round.
I don't know, or like honestly, like a sandwich or something, like peanut butter and jelly.
Sandwiches you could do because
Like
they're
I
a little
really
lighter.
I really enjoy peanut butter and jelly. It's easy to like make that just super fast and get it out of the way. Or like
I guess that's, you got some protein, you got some fiber, you got some sugar, you got bread, that's carbohydrates. You got everything.
you really got everything, and then like a glass of milk. That's a great meal. It's
Humans
yummy.
weren't meant to drink milk, so I'd go with water.
I'd go with water. Look, milk is essentially just cow water.
Especially if it's skim.
When you say it like that, I hate milk. All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
was-
That's just my like off the cusp answer. I don't
Off the
really.
cusp.
I don't really know.
Off the
off the
cow
cuff.
answer.
I don't really know. Off
I really
the
like your
off the
cusp
udder.
links.
The cusp links. Yeah, I don't really know. I can't think of a food that like. I don't have like a food. Do you guys have a food where if someone asks you like, if you're on a,
Salmon.
if
Wait,
you're
no
on
one
a,
said pizza?
if you're on a desert, I thought you were gonna say
Salmon.
pizza.
I could actually do pizza. Yeah, that might actually be the real answer. Salmon?
Yeah.
Salmon's
That's
pretty good,
wrong.
but is that your answer to my question? Like everyone always is like, oh, what's your desert island food? Like if you're on an island and you only eat one food forever, what would it be? I don't know. I don't know.
You need to do that voice for the rest of the podcast.
I don't.
Dude, if you're in
what
would you do?
What would you do? No, I don't.
Jordan, you need to do that too.
Okay. Okay, man.
No, we can't do that.
I think I would
Wow,
eat
he-
salmon.
You can actually do it. Wow.
Yeah,
I think
Damn,
I would
we
eat
can all do
salmon.
it.
didn't think that you were gonna go for that.
Welcome to Not So Subtle, guys.
We have our new host here, Georgeman's Millsman's.
Wait, that's the Georgeman's Millsman's
You're
voice.
right, that's my alter
Now you'll
ego.
never do it again.
Yeah, no, we'll never hear you do it again.
Well, I need to transform.
Yeah, I don't
roll out.
have a desert island food.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
So
does
I-
that mean? Just something
Like when
to
people
take
say
on-
like, "What's your desert island show or video game or like whatever it is?" It's essentially
Oh,
just
it's
like
the
a
only
quick
thing.
answer of a quick way of asking like, what would be the only thing that you eat or do or whatever. And I don't have an answer for food because there's not like a food that I just love so much. I have a few dishes that I'd be okay with, but I would never be like, oh, this is 100% it. There's no question.
Yeah, I
Like,
love
I have
all
no
food,
idea.
so it's not a hard choice. Anything
Yeah.
will be fine.
I'm fine with just about I mean, there's a few things like,
Like tomatoes, avocado,
ooh,
Taco Bell, Burger King.
man, those are all my Horcruxes.
Well said. But I feel like we should say what brand of like food of our chosen food.
I would
we
have
do.
Maggiano's fettuccine Alfredo.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think it's pretty solid.
I don't know if Maggiano's is like a if they have more than one location.
There is. When I went to LA. There was one there.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Romano's Macaroni Grill.
I
Except way better than that.
I imagine it is far better than Romano's Macaroni Grill. I've never even been to Romano's Macaroni Grill, but I know it's
Me
better.
and my brother have been to Romano's Macaroni Grill twice because we were like,
Were you
this needs
disappointed
to be
both
good.
times?
We want this to be good so bad. I think maybe even 3 times.
All 3 times. I'm sure that you were disappointed.
Yeah,
next
I was
time-
disappointed to some degree. There was
Like,
one time
but
where
why, though?
I ordered like a pasta and I wanted like half this sauce, half this sauce, and it came out and the whole thing looked like one sauce. So I was like, did they mix it? But then when I was eating it, I was like, there's no way like there's both of these sauces in here. They literally only put one.
Were they different colors?
No.
Or like different
It was-
consistencies or something? Or like you would have been able to tell if it was mixed?
It was way different flavors. I can't remember what it was.
okay.
It was probably like vodka sauce or like a red like marinara sauce or something like that.
Okay.
And then like a
Like
white
Alfredo.
sauce.
Yeah, like
it
white
was
sauce,
something
yeah.
like that where you
Yeah.
would know 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really annoying.
Look, you can't expect people to...
And it was also the blandest meal I've had in a very long time. So
Look, it's a very
Romano's-
bland... The name of the
best.
restaurant is extremely bland, so I can only
Macaroni
imagine
grill.
the food follows. Like, what the fuck is a macaroni grill? We're not grilling any macaroni. Look, all right?
wow,
that's
you just did a Seinfeld stand-up bit.
What the hell is up with Romano's Macaroni Grill? What are you doing? You're not grilling macaroni.
Are you doing like the mentally challenged Seinfeld?
Yeah, that's
'Cause
like
you were like doing
unhinged.
some.
What? That was like... Yeah, that was like, like on cocaine.
Yeah, that was
Seinfeld.
full tilt Seinfeld
Yeah.
because he cursed. Also, I feel like he doesn't curse. Does he?
What the heck is up with Romano's Macaroni Grill?
What the heck?
What
That's
the
more-
heck is
that's
up
more
with
like
it?
Now do your Morty.
Stop.
Don't.
Next question, please.
Gigi,
I was actually gonna say on
I
the
don't know,
subject-
Rick. I don't know if we should be going to
Stop,
Romano's
stop,
Macaroni Grill, Rick.
Stop.
They
We,
probably-
we have to go, Morty.
Romano's Macaroni
We have
Grill,
to go,
Anaheim.
Morty. We want this to be good, Morty. We want this to be good. It's our 3rd try, Morty.
It's like the Szechuan sauce or whatever, but Romano's Macaroni Grill, and then you have to get a specific dish there that he really likes. Okay, anyways, I was going to say on the subject of like a secret button on the microwave, I've definitely seen like little life hacks where there's like secret things like that.
Like commands.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
one of them's for like a an elevator. Like if you hold like a certain button,
yeah.
it'll go straight to the floor you picked, which is like... First of all, it definitely doesn't do that on
Yeah.
every elevator
Yeah.
known to
Oh,
man.
you mean like other tricks on other appliances outside of your
Yeah.
Oh, I
No,
didn't-
on your microwave. You press the button on your microwave, and it takes you up to the top.
I was like,
floor
what
of
the
building.
fuck kind of microwave do you have?
microwave
Okay, no.
tricks?
I found out what it is. Most modern
Wow, how
microwaves...
did you get to that?
I looked up holding
Bookmark.
0 on the microwave.
Okay, well, I guess that actually
Okay,
is
so
good.
it's a life pro tip that was gilded multiple times. It says, this is actually a really popular post for some reason. This was from February. So I did see it somewhat recently. It says, most modern microwaves have a mute function to turn off the beep. Typically, it's by
What?
holding 0 for 3 seconds. So you can hold down the 0 and it'll just make sure that your microwave never beeps at you again. Which
Wait,
is...
never again, or just for
or
that
like
cycle?
until you do that button again, I think. Which is interesting because I mean, when they say most modern, a lot of microwaves nowadays, I don't know if you guys have like somewhat new microwaves, but they have like, they're essentially computers. They have like LCDs, they have like little screens, and like you can do a bunch of shit on them. There's lots of stuff going on that little display.
You play Doom on some of them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some guy hack his like touchscreen in his car to play Doom, so I'm sure you could do it on your microwave.
That's dangerous, but
It
hey,
seemed
do what you want.
he was, but it's operated by the car. So while he was driving and like pressing buttons on his steering wheel, it was playing Doom.
Okay. Listen, that's even more dangerous
Dude,
than I
it's
previously
pretty,
imagined.
it's pretty lit, and like he's walking through the area like while he's driving when he turns. And, like,
yeah.
Oh no.
it's pretty lit. Not safe at all. But so stuff like that, like how many appliances or things around our house, let's say, do you think we have very
secret
little,
buttons.
very little
Very-
understanding of in terms of like secrets and capabilities?
Maybe just your main appliances, your washer, dryer,
Sure, I'm sure there's stuff like that where
Dishwasher.
they just don't tell you.
oven, stuffing muffin cupping device,
Stuffing muffin cupping,
espresso
apparatus.
machine.
That takes 5 minutes to make.
That's
it.
right.
There's
Not
no, it's
acceptable.
unacceptable.
There's no shortcuts on that.
There's no
machine.
shortcuts. It's the purest form of espresso craft.
There's no shortcuts to perfection. You got to walk all the way there. You can't just
That's right.
jump.
No shortcuts.
That's right.
No half measures.
To full hipster, it's a long road, but
But
we're gonna do it.
but
gonna
it's
stick it
it's
out.
about the destination in that case, not the journey.
Full hipster takes a certain level of care.
A lot of care.
Guys.
put into it.
All right. So next question is: would you rather wake up to an air horn blowing in your ear every day, or wake up and have to run 4 miles every day?
Holy fucking hell! No, I couldn't even run 4 miles one day.
Yeah, I feel like the
That's
air
right.
horn
Nor could I.
I like-
You'd have to train.
I can't.
You'd have a lot of training.
I
if you have
can't
to do
run
it every
half
day.
a mile.
That's right.
Okay. Don't throw all your secrets out onto the public eye here.
I don't
Let's
care,
keep
dude.
some of them to yourself.
Look, they have a visual. If they're watching the video, they can be like, "Wow, this fat fuck isn't gonna run like half a second."
I feel like the
Half a
air
second.
horn would actually help me wake up. It's like, if it's blowing in my fucking ear, I'm like, I don't want to listen to this anymore. I would get up right away. I wouldn't hit snooze at all because it would just be blowing in your ear.
Oh, I would
so.
get up right away and I would make sure that
Yeah.
thing.
So
was-
actually, if anyone wants to do that for me, just go ahead. I'm ready. I actually would enjoy that.
You
So,
would
please.
you would wake up before it every day, and you'd see the air horn in front of you, and you'd be
Yeah,
like,
you would know.
no, you fucker.
I guess maybe this is a magical universe where you have to wake up
Yeah.
to it.
You would be
You
holding
can't-
it.
You can't wake
You
up
get a
before
full
it.
night's sleep every night, except you get woken up by the air horn.
You would be
So-
holding the air horn. You'd be like, "Oh, you're back again."
You wake up and then just jump and grab the air horn and like smack the guy
Yeah.
holding it.
Yeah. What? But would it be a guy, like a person doing this? It would probably just be like a machine that lowers down like the air horn, like out of
Details
ceiling.
on
And then-
SpongeBob.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's an important detail because if it was a person, maybe they oversleep. Do they have a person doing an air horn to make
It's a
sure they
chain
wake
re-
up
yeah,
in
it's a chain
time
reaction
to
air
get
horn.
you to get them to you to wake you up?
Yeah.
No. I only trust a machine to do this. I don't
Do you
trust
have a
person
dream
to
to
do that.
you, to them, to you, to them? Have you ever had a
Can you
dream?
tell them to air horn the guy to air horn
Have you
me?
ever wanted what you want? You what?
Let's not.
Are you the kid from that thing?
Yeah.
Can you sign my VHS of that incident?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the cast. Next, we're gonna get into our favorite
Surfboard.
Tubes.
Tubes.
What's your favorite surfboard?
Probably,
I
probably
can-
the Zephyr 65.
Dude,
That sounds like a surfboard.
dude, that one cuts through the surf like nar mad butter, dude, bro.
the wave cutter 95.
Dude, fly away on my Zephyr 76, dude.
Nice.
Let's go, dude.
Zephyr 76.
That's my new screen name.
Dude, my favorite song is the Zephyr song, dude. Let's go, dude.
Fly away on
my Zephyr.
What were we talking about? What was this?
I don't
question?
know.
Oh,
Air horn
wake
or
up to an
run.
air horn.
Look, I feel like no one in their right mind would pick the run 4 mile option.
I mean, some people just
It's-
do that without, like...
Maybe
That
like
would be
Dwayne
beneficial.
The Rock Johnson.
Your life will increase
Yeah.
in happiness if you do that.
You would be...
However, it would suck to wake up and be like,
Yeah.
man, I still have to run 4 miles.
You would be dramatically healthier. And probably not that long of a time.
Dane, you would
Probably
be
miles.
you would be not the same person if you did that.
Yeah.
Like your entire lifestyle would change if that happened to you. Dane, would you like to know how to change your entire lifestyle?
Look, I
Run
barely
4
I
miles.
barely
That's
want
the
to wake
secret
up
for
in the
you.
morning in the first place. I'm
That's
not going
right.
to wake up and run 4 miles.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. It's not happening. So
Mine would change too. All of ours would change.
And
but I feel like
anyone's
when I
life
think
would
of you,
change.
not in a million years would you run 4 miles
ever.
when you woke up. Yeah.
Maybe just in general, but especially no, right when I wake up. That would never happen.
Yeah.
Ever.
You have to run out of bed.
Oh my
Just
god.
get up and start running. Ugh.
Yeah. I think it would be more beneficial to do the mile running. But the thing about the air horn that we haven't brought up is that you will have hearing damage if you have that
Yeah.
done.
Hopefully
Okay.
it's done at a safe distance, so you just hear it very loudly, but it doesn't like hurt your eardrums. Because that's not.
It's a
fair
magical
then.
world where it still does
Yeah.
that, but it doesn't hurt
That's
your
not fair. If it's
hearing.
like, oh well, the other option is just really better for you all around. It's gonna suck, but at least you're getting healthier. And then the air horn option is, oh, it fucking sucks,
It
and
just
also you're gonna
destroys
have
your
hearing damage for like the rest of your life. Oh, that
Yeah.
sucks.
What about like instead
that's
of
an
an
easy
air
answer
horn,
then.
it
There we are.
like dumps a bucket of ice cold water on your head?
No, because then your bed's gonna be fucking wet like
That would
every
suck
morning.
so
like,
bad.
come on.
No, because
then you have to
you have a
wash your-
magical
it's
bed
magic
that
ice.
doesn't. You have
No,
a
it's
magical
magic-
bed
it's a
that
magic
doesn't
bed.
get
Okay.
that doesn't get wet.
You have like plastic sheets. You can just
Yep.
flip them over. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Like that when you spray that spray onto something and then the water just like glides off of it.
Yeah,
no matter
Rain-X.
what
I
it
actually
is.
got that put on my windshield after I got my oil changed the other day. It's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I
What's
got
it
that
called?
Too. It like
Rain-X.
disperses the
Oh yeah.
rain.
When I bought my car, they made a huge point of saying, "Oh, and this is equipped with like fucking rain, like anti-rain Blade Runner technology or some shit." I'm like, okay, when they said that, I
This is equipped with
immediately
flubber.
started thinking like,
Flub technology.
yeah, exactly. Like when they
Flubber
said that, I was like,
technology.
okay, yeah, sure, because the what is it called? The oleophobic coating that they claim is on every
Oleo.
smartphone.
What is that
it's-
oil?
It's a coating that apparently eliminates all fingerprints,
Okay.
and it's apparently on most
but I'm
modern smartphones.
curious about oleophobic.
I don't know what that means, but
Ole oxen free.
it's either oleophobic or oliphobic. but I'm pretty sure it's
Olympiaphobic.
OLEO phobic.
Okay.
That just eliminates fingerprints
Roly-poly-phobic.
almost entirely. And I'll tell you right now that doesn't work because fingerprints
Yeah.
are on every single touchscreen known to man. It just is not. That's not a thing. It might not be as bad, but they're definitely there.
They're definitely still there.
And that's also why they say not to clean your phone screen with like isopropyl alcohol or anything like that because it'll rub away that little coating. And I don't think that's real because I still see fucking fingerprints on my fucking phone.
All right, well, we should have this be the last one. Is Jimmy Kimmel funny?
Yes.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's funny sometimes, but he also never does any like big like dramatic bits. He'll
Yeah.
never do a physical gag. He'll never do like a crazy thing where people are like, "Wow, what the heck?" I guess he'll like go somewhere and maybe he'll like skydive or something like that.
I appreciate,
but then
his,
he'll
like,
be dry the whole time. He'll be
yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'm
I
skydiving."
appreciate the dry, like,
That's why a lot of people
understated
like
humor
him.
from
Yeah.
him. Like,
He's
it's-
my yeah.
That's why people hate Jimmy Fallon is because he's the opposite.
yeah,
of
he's
Jimmy.
his
He's
his opposite. He's his
he's-
bizarro version.
Yeah, he's Bizarro Jimmy
He's
Fallon.
negative Fallon.
He's my third favorite.
Okay, let's do the power ranking of all hosts.
I mean, if we're gonna rank them all entirely, I could.
You could.
We don't have the time
Yes,
for that.
but I'll
Prepare
do the
that
top
for next
three.
week.
I'll do the
I'd
top
like
three.
that. Okay, sure.
Top-
well, you're
number one-
revealing next week's gag.
That's
but-
okay. Number 1 is Graham Norton.
Okay.
Number 2 is Conan.
Yeah.
Number 3
Listen.
is Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay.
Okay.
Graham Norton is not as talented as Coco. I'll say that.
I think Graham Norton is the best interviewer,
That's probably fair. Yeah.
and I think that he has the best like personality for his format.
Mm-hmm.
And then Conan is
just a hilarious human
he's
being.
really, really funny, and I think his laugh is really infectious, and he's a good interviewer, and he's also like he's always down for a bit. Like his show goes off the rails so often, but in hilarious ways. So I really appreciate that.
He's the best
And
comedian, hands down.
Yeah, and I appreciate that he's not like all rigid and like we have to like promote like the show that we're doing and like whoever is interviewing, like he does everything supernaturally. So I appreciate that. And then Jimmy Kimmel, I don't think is a great interviewer, but he has some of the best segments for sure on his show, and his monologues are some of the best because his delivery is pretty great. But his interviewing process is not the best.
I'm probably the least hot on Jimmy Kimmel out of all of you. And partially it's because of his hatred towards YouTube gaming.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
It was a little annoying. If you guys don't know, he once did a segment mocking the fact that people would watch other people play games on a new
like
platform.
Twitch streamers or
yeah,
like
basically
yeah.
Twitch in general.
Yeah.
But what it was YouTube gaming, but basically Twitch, yeah. Mm-hmm. He was mocking like Let's Plays and like stuff like that, which is admittedly like, okay, you can say that and it's like a funny joke, but he went so hard on it that you're like, okay, this guy doesn't know what he's talking
like
about.
he doesn't get it, yeah.
He's like out of touch. He's completely just tone deaf on this.
Yeah.
Even though it's like a huge market, obviously.
I will say that like on a more serious topic, Jimmy Kimmel has definitely been the most political recently, and but he makes a lot of like he uses his platform to make
other than
bold
like
statements.
the actual political people like Colbert.
Yeah, like in terms of like his like he's very open with his views on things, and like he broaches sensitive topics on his show, which is
Such as
interesting.
YouTube gaming.
The most sensitive topic there is.
It's a political hotbed.
That's right.
No, but like he'll like bring up mass shootings and like all kinds of just like ridiculous shit that happens. He'll
He's
just
like,
call
"How
it out
about
and be
those
like,
mass
guys, we
shootings?"
need to talk about this. And he uses his platform for good, which I like.
He says, "What's the deal with mass
What's
shootings?"
the deal with those shootings?
This is a lot.
What's the deal with
is a
those
lot.
bump
This
stocks?
is gonna get clipped and used against us in a court of law.
How does everyone feel about those bump stocks?
Okay, I have to stop
We
you
need
there.
to stop.
We're about to cross the line,
That can't be gone back from.
We won't do it.
and the lightning round is over.
Look,
That's
that's
right.
Jerry Seinfeld. It's not me.
Okay.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to my lightning round gag. And
thank
who
you.
won, Dane?
Kermit.
Thanks. And the bit comes to an end yet again without a
Kermit
satisfying conclusion.
Someone's got to
Kermit
win.
is a winner in all of our books, and there's just no getting around it.
Yeah, he's okay. He's fine. I mean, he won fair and square, but
Are you gonna put his arm where we originally had it until you fucked up?
yeah, he's just relaxed and chilling,
Look at that. He's just itching his
Relaxing,
little
all
frog
cool.
head.
playing some b-ball, shooting
Outside
some
of the
b-ball
school?
outside the school.
Well, a couple of
There we go.
frogs.
Anyways,
They were up to no good.
that's the lightning round. We'll probably do another one at
Leaping
another
on his
point
lilies in the neighborhood.
in the future. But now let's move on to some movies. Before we get to Aliens, I wanted to
A
bring
word from
up,
our sponsor.
word from quick segue
Kefefe.
to our ad from Elfster.com. I don't have anything for
Guys, go to elfster.com.
Have you ever
for
been
all
in one
your-
of those boring?
Oh.
Sorry, please.
No, you go. You had a better intro.
I was gonna say, have you ever been in one of those boring work meetings?
them.
Yeah, where just it's so dry
Yeah.
and yep. So wouldn't it be great if with one simple website and a very cheap, affordable subscription, you could have every single one of those boring coworkers shooting right from their hips?
That does sound fun.
Well, do I have the website for you? Elfster.com.
Let's fucking go.
Using the promo code Not So Subtle or Kermit is our friend. Number
That's
one.
the code. Or you're just
That's-
saying that?
that's the code.
Okay.
Kermit
That's a long
friend
code.
number one.
Oh.
Pound sign, of course, for the number. To get
Wait,
to get a quick package of lightning round questions that'll have all
quick
of your
game for a
coworkers
quick kiss.
shooting from the hip.
All right.
Elfster.com.
Shout out to Elfster.
That's right.
Thank you, Elfster. All right, now on to our
All right,
next
bless you.
topic.
Let's move on to cinema. And again, we'll be talking about Aliens, our wacky film of the week, which we always pick a film at the end of each podcast, and we watch it randomly out of a bag, not a hat, or anything close to a hat. It's a bag.
That's right.
We'll pull it out at the end of this
My favorite bit.
episode and watch it next week. This week we watched Aliens, but before that, I want to talk about a movie that Coulter recommended more than a few episodes ago, Wind River. It recently got put on Netflix, unless it was there since the beginning. I could be
Oh, is it
mistaken.
actually?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
where I watched
I
it.
didn't know it was on Netflix.
That's the reason I watched it. I saw oh, here's what Netflix has this month or whatever. I was like, oh, Wind River. Coulter was
fucking go.
hot on that movie.
It has not been on there until recently. I know
Yeah.
that.
I thought so. I was like, okay, Coulter was hot on this movie. I'll give it a watch because I got some free time. I don't usually watch a lot of movies by myself, as you guys know, but
That was surprising to hear that you watched that.
I decided to sit down and watch it. I didn't really know. I couldn't really remember what you had billed it as, so I was kind of surprised at the start of how kind of it starts off very just tame. It's very a quiet movie, and I liked it a lot. I should say first of all, but thanks to Coulter's recommendation, I also highly recommend this movie. It's very tense. I felt a lot of just the story is really good. It's very just a simple sort of oh, we're trying to find this murderer or find this criminal or whatever, but the town that it's placed in the area is so just quiet and darkly tense. It's a very fascinating film. Also Jeremy Renner is in it. He's very good.
And what's her name? Isn't it?
Can't remember her name.
Isn't it Elizabeth Olsen?
Probably.
That might-
Is it Scarlet Witch?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
The
Two
other
Avengers.
the third Olsen twin.
yeah, they're all everyone in
Yes.
that movie does a good job.
She's an Olsen's sister.
Sure.
Yeah,
the
not that
third,
She's not the triplet.
She's not a triplet.
That's
they.
distant cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the movie a lot. I would highly recommend it. I'll give it 9 out of 10. Great film.
Damn. No jokes with that one. 9 bodies out of 10.
I don't want to make light of that movie. It's a very there's no humor to be found in that movie at
Yeah,
all.
okay.
It's very serious, but it's a gripping thriller, I would say.
I might have to watch that soon.
Would
Yeah.
you say realistic to a T?
100% realistic. There's no nothing in that movie seems fanciful or out of the ordinary at all. Everything is this is just a real thing that's happening. Everything even the kind of the timeline of the movie is all right, everything's taking place at this set amount of time. It just makes sense. It's very realistic and
Yes. No art, just real.
well, I mean,
No art.
it's an artfully made film. It's not
Yeah,
an art
yeah,
film for sure.
exactly,
It's the
yeah.
story.
I don't
is
wanna take away
incredibly-
from that.
Yeah, it's incredibly straightforward, but it's really well done. Yeah, and also it kind of has the ending has not so much a twist, but just the build up to the climactic moments are it will have you just I am just on
You're
edge
just
right
oh,
now.
shit.
Yeah, you there's a point in the movie where someone says something and you're just oh fuck, and then shit just goes wild out the window, and but not in a over the top way. It's just all within the realms of realism. But
Yeah, I said about it before. In all the films by this writer or whatever, Hell or High Water, Sicario being 2 others, it's all about anything can happen because it's so realistic, and something will. It's okay if anything can happen, you can say that or whatever, but something had better happen, and it better be satisfying. And that's what I like about him is that something will happen and it'll be satisfying.
it always feels to me especially like during Sicario in this movie, it's like you're like the situations that each scene are taking place in, like you feel them like build up to a moment where like the situation will either diffuse or the bomb will go off, and like and then everything just goes crazy. And like
the best example would be that border scene in Sicario, where like the entire time it's like a steadily rising just like pot boiling.
There are multiple like sequences in this movie that are very reminiscent of like that scene. To me at least it felt like it's like, oh, like you can tell the tensions are building, and then it finally just snaps, and it's very exciting.
But you never know exactly when or how.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing, is like you know it's gonna happen, you just don't know when or why or how, and then when it all comes together, it's like, oh well, sorry everyone, or like this is just getting crazy now, and it's exciting. So highly recommend.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
kind of like Breaking Bad, except not as. I don't know how I would, because
well,
I was looking to either of you, and it's like, okay, well, you haven't seen Wind River, you haven't seen Breaking Bad, so I can't really.
Just talk to the camera.
But yeah, I feel like Breaking Bad is more like so tightly like choreographed, and this is like kind of moving in different directions. There's a lot of subtleties, like you know, I don't know. It's hard to.
Well,
explain.
Breaking Bad is the thing about Breaking Bad for. I think what you're going with here is it's so tightly constructed and sure of itself that you just know, like, you kind of just strap in and you don't really think too far ahead about what's going to happen. You kind of just enjoy it in the moment, because every moment is so carefully designed and like well made that you're just enjoying you're enjoying the ride to the destination, but you know that when you get to the destination, some shit's going to pop off. And you know that they're very sure of where they're going. So you have no question in your mind. You're like, okay, I can fully commit to this.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like with this movie, you're kind of like offset a little bit. You're like, I don't know if something is really going to happen right here. Like,
which is fine, and that makes for good tension and suspensefulness. But I with Breaking Bad, it's so good. I mean, I could talk about this all day, but with Breaking Bad, it's so good because like you don't have to question if something crazy is going to happen. Yeah. You know it will.
It has
you don't know how or when.
Yeah,
but you
it has
know
like
for sure that something will happen.
A setup and payoff nature of like classic storytelling, like stuff like that. So yeah.
And also one last note of Wind River. It's also the music in it pretty good. It's also like I think it takes place in Wyoming, if I'm not mistaken, and like the like locale that they're shooting in is really like cool. Like a lot of like snowy mountain areas, and like it's pretty wild looking.
I like that.
Very cool. So
Wyoming is a cool state.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty. It's a boring ass.
I mean, there's not a lot going on, but it looks pretty.
Yeah. So if you want an exciting thriller movie that will keep you on the edge of your seat,
God,
Coulter is dying. Watch Wind River.
I am gonna watch it.
Sorry. Yeah. Highly recommend.
You almost like went to clap.
I was about to. And I was like, no, I can't. Like, I can't fuck up the setup here.
Yeah.
If you guys have any other movies to talk about, state your business.
I was actually trying to think if
I feel like I've watched a movie, but I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Okay. Listen, you don't have to.
I try to watch a movie every week, and it's called The Wacky Film.
Boom. No half movies that you've watched, Dane? Or?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I've watched much of anything.
You didn't watch the first half of I, Tonya?
No, I still haven't watched that.
The second half. The second half.
No,
Isn't it the second?
No, I watched the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first half.
Oh, you're saying he didn't continue the saga with the first half of I, Tonya. He didn't continue the saga of Lord of the Rings with Fellowship of the Ring.
Walls.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, actually, that actually this isn't something I watched, but it's sort of interesting.
Something my friend watched, and I will now recount the tale.
Who will not be named.
No, so one of my coworkers, she posted a poll on Facebook. Oh, so I should mention before I say this that a couple weeks ago, or like a month ago or something, she watched. I think it was all of the. Was it all of the Harry Potter movies? Or it was either all of the Harry Potter movies or like the last like 4 or last 3 or something like that. She hadn't seen them before or read the Harry Potter books or anything, which I don't know how. And she's older than me, I'm pretty sure. And so she watched all of the Harry Potter movies and like live updated on Facebook or something, or like I saw it on Facebook, maybe other platforms as well, like in stories on Instagram or whatever. And so she was just going through and saying like, oh, it's so crazy, like that like, you know, Triwizard Tournament scene in Goblet of Fire, or like crazy stuff where it's like seeing her reactions to things that everyone is just fully aware of already was kind of interesting. And so she posted a poll and she was like, guys, it was really fun like experiencing Harry Potter or whatever. Like, what's the next series I should do? And so it was between X-Men, which I'm like, why would anyone watch any of the X-Men movies, or Lord of the Rings? She hadn't seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies. Not the Hobbit, but like Lord of the Rings, like Fellowship, Two Towers, and Return of the King. And so it Lord of the Rings won by a landslide. It was like 90, like, or it was like 89 to like
X-Men
11 or something.
The greatest
for X-Men.
film saga of all
Yeah,
time.
I was like, this is not even a question. I think I even
She
commented.
better have seen Star Wars.
Oh no, it was Harry Potter. She had only seen some of, but the one that I'm thinking of that she did beforehand was Star Wars.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's
on a journey.
She hadn't seen any of the Star Wars movies.
She lived under a rock until
I think
the
so.
day she married.
I think
A
so.
lot of
So
cinema to catch up on.
yeah, she hadn't seen any of the Star Wars movies.
She was
at all,
made in a
period.
lab, and she was 21.
Pretty much, and they were like, all right, this is like the things you need to watch so people think that you're a real person. No, but
I'm
like,
gonna recommend you watch this.
So she watched Star Wars.
She's like Captain America
and
with
she
a
was
list
like,
of pop culture.
yes,
icons.
pretty
Yeah.
much. But she, so she watched Star Wars and she loved it. So the next ones that she was trying to decide between were X-Men and Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's watching Lord of the Rings. She's watched Fellowship, and I think she just finished Two Towers last night. And she's been updating as she watches, and she's just been like popping off on Facebook. She's just like, holy shit, like when Gandalf showed up with like all the forces or whatever at Helm's Deep, and like just going off on all these things. And so it's really interesting to put into perspective, like, or to see and hear someone's reactions about something that you just take for granted. Like, you're just like, wow, I watched that like, what, 10 years ago? Like when it was actually popular and coming out. And so, yeah, as she's watching that, it's somewhat interesting just to see that perspective of big Hollywood movies that everyone has seen on the planet.
Yeah. I'm glad she enjoys Lord of the Rings, because that's definitely a bit of a downer from Harry Potter.
Wait, what do you mean?
Just like, in terms of like, Harry Potter is like kind of a fun like children's series, whereas Lord of the Rings is like, okay, we're gonna take this really seriously.
Lord of
It's
the Rings is an
extremely
epic.
Yeah, and the other thing is that like with Lord of the Rings specifically, like, it's not quite the same. Maybe with Star Wars to a certain point, or like Star Trek or something like that, but Lord of the Rings is so like deeply quote unquote nerdy or like geeky that I feel like it's almost impenetrable for some people, because they'll just be like, oh, I don't like orcs, I don't like elves, like that's gonna be so lame. But like, and it's so like there's a lot of like political intrigue and like, you know, a lot of like really like deep themes and stuff going on in Lord of the Rings. So I feel like for some people, like, they could start it and not really get the hype.
I mean, some people don't like high fantasy.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's just like when it's been hyped up so much, and they're like going through a thing where they're like, oh, I'm gonna watch all the famous like film series, and then they watch Lord of the Rings. You could very easily just be like, it's not my thing.
Saga.
It's too nerdy or too crazy. But she's loving it so far, and it's cool. It's just cool to see that fresh perspective on something that we've all seen, that we all love. So kind of interesting to think about.
I haven't seen like all of the Lord of the Rings as an adult. Like, I saw them like as a kid all the way through, but I haven't like taken them in as like a mature adult that like can understand like all the themes and like the you know, like movie magic of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
It's
I'd
certainly
like
been
to do that.
a few years since I've seen any one of them, I feel like. So
It's been a long
I
time
have
for me.
the Blu-ray box set of the extended editions.
okay, I don't have 45
takes a long time.
hours to.
Now, guys,
I don't have enough time to watch it.
We should do something like that for the podcast.
Let's carve
To
out
watch
just a
those
couple
movies again.
days.
Let me carve out my whole week.
No, but yeah, those I haven't watched them recently since I would say it's been 5+ years since I've watched any of them.
It's been a while.
We're gonna do a 24-hour charity stream of us.
For of us
Yeah,
watching those.
just watch along.
I will hate my life. by the time it's done.
It is indisputable though that those are some of the best movies ever made. I think
They're very good.
they're just incredible.
Especially if you're a nerd.
That's right. But even just for film lovers, it's such an epic undertaking that I feel like it's a true event. It was
There's
a true
things to
cinematic
appreciate.
event
Yeah, cinematically.
for
in
our
those.
lifetime.
Would you guys say that a lot of care was put into those movies?
Probably the most of any movie
No.
I've seen.
No?
No, I'd say
No,
yeah.
you want to say that.
I would. The only time I would say that is about those movies.
Peter Jackson did a lot. Now, his first set of works did include horror films such as Dead Alive.
Oh, here we go. No,
Dane
no.
called me out, and I wanted to get him back real quick. So I did a little housekeeping from the previous
So
episode,
you did a little research.
And I found out that Dead Alive is a movie by Peter Jackson.
You did a little research, and you wouldn't let yourself forget.
And it's a splat stick horror film. It's a genre. Look it up.
Stick?
Splat stick.
that like
Is that like
Splatterhouse?
Evil Dead?
Yeah. It's like the later Evil Deads or whatever.
All right. Well, sounds like we're done with other movies we've watched. Let's move on to Aliens, our wacky film.
That's right. Alien $.
Alien hashtag $420. Let's get it. I think Dane, you'd already seen it. Obviously, I'd seen it already. Coulter, you're the.
I was the only boy that hadn't seen it.
You're the new viewer.
That's right.
This was the same case with Alien, right?
I
think
guess.
Jordan and I had seen it, and
Yeah.
So go ahead and set it up. You guys most people have heard of Aliens before. It's a immensely popular film. It's a little older. I don't know when it came out. It was like
theatrical was 1986.
okay, so not the oldest movie on the list by a good
I
margin.
believe like 3-4 years after Alien.
That seems right. I
I
don't know.
think
I don't know.
it might have been 79. I'm gonna look it up. Continue.
Okay. Anyways, Alien. At the end of Alien, a movie we also watched, Ripley. Sorry, not Ridley. Not Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott.
Ridley
from Metroid.
yeah, that's it. Like Ridley almost kind of looks like an alien a little bit, like the Alien Queen, maybe. Could kinda see that
Alien was-
relationship.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Anyways, Ripley.
I thought you were saying Ripley looks like an alien.
No. Hey, that's really rude.
Really quick, Jordan.
sorry.
Alien was 1979.
Okay.
So this is around. It's actually like 7 years after. So
All right.
long time.
So at the end of Alien, Ripley goes into hyper sleep or whatever after defeating the alien and is presumably just lost in space. This movie starts with her being found. Eventually, it says it's 57 years after her last escape, which I don't honestly know if that actually has that much to do with the film at all, really, other than the fact that like it's like, oh, your daughter died because she's old. It's like, oh, okay, like.
And the fact that 7 years has passed in like real time, so I guess they
That
might
true.
pay some sort of factor, but
yeah. But ends up with her going back to the planet or whatever colony that the
LV-426.
yes, the original alien was found, and chaos ensues with the Marine group. This movie is much more action-y than I felt like the first one was. The first one is more of a thriller horror film. This one, not so much a horror film. It's really a lot of just like chaos and explosions. It's still tense in a lot of parts, but not as understated, I felt.
yeah.
What did you think of it, Coulter?
I thought it was very good. I liked, the Hollywood blockbuster aspect of it.
Yeah.
But I really didn't like the Marines, and they played a pretty big role in the movie, unfortunately. They were all just like the dumbest, like douchebag bros.
They're all just like meathead dude. And it's like, all right.
And they're not like positive meathead dudes.
Yeah.
They're like negative, like, oh, like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, I felt like that's overshadowed by like one.
Fuck.
I think it's Hudson, who's just like he's always a negative dude. Who's just like, I fucking hate, like, this is fucked up. Game over, man. It's like, all right, dude, like pull yourself together, man, for a little bit. Like everyone else, this little baby kid who's like fucking 10 years old is like doing a better job of holding himself together than you are, bro. Come on, step up. Instead, he's just being a little whiny, just googa the entire time.
Googa.
They're not like charming
No.
people at all. They're just annoying as fuck.
I felt like one of I don't remember his name. Whatever the like main dude, Marine dude who survives at the end. I don't remember what his name was.
Hicks.
I can't remember.
Hicks, is that his name? He
Because it's D. Hicks, and then at the end he says his name is Dwayne.
he's like a somewhat okay
Spoiler.
character. He doesn't like he's not like an asshole. He survives and is like a cool guy, but he's also like doesn't even have that much of a role in the film either. Like he just like honestly the movie is mostly about Ripley and that's pretty much it. So makes sense, but it would be nice if those characters were not like.
It'd be
just
nice if those
cardboard,
characters shut their mouth or were just written to be more
like
interesting.
enjoyable at all. But I felt like again, like in the first movie, set design really good. There's a little bit of like special effects action in this one, but like the pyrotechnics and like the set design in this one, all like it looks really cool.
It holds up very well.
Yeah.
I was saying when we were watching it, towards even just the beginning when they were in, there wasn't like a lot of action or pyrotechnics or anything going on. They were just kind of like in the ship, like preparing things. Like Ripley comes by in that like the exo suit thing, like the loader. mech thing, and like they're filling up, the ship with missiles and like just doing like, seemingly just normal things, but it feels very immersive because they're in like an actual, at least it feels from your perspective that you're in like an actual space station or like an actual ship, and they have actual vehicles and things in there, and it all looks very real. There's very minimal CGI in this movie outside of like space shots.
Yeah, I liked like I think this might be right at the beginning, is like when the machine finds her in the like stasis chamber. It like cuts through the door and it comes in. The robot just has like the blue light like shining through the room. Like that was like a really cool looking scene, because that robot looks like not futuristic, but like 1980s futuristic, and like the blue light is like, oh, this is like a cool looking shot of just like this tech like scanning the room and stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say that like so Alien was 79, and then the first Blade Runner was 82. So that was a huge landmark for like visual effects, set design, like that kind of like weird like 80s inspired like analog future where they have like weird like shitty ass TV screens and like monitors and stuff that looks like it should like is actually out of the 80s, but then they also are like in space and like have weird
shit.
like flying cars and ships and all this kind of stuff. And so it's interesting to see like an Alien movie in a post Blade Runner world, especially like 4 years after Blade Runner came out, because they've had a lot of time to learn from that movie in terms of like, at least on the technical side of things. So this movie actually looks, even though the first Alien is also a landmark film, this movie looks leaps and bounds beyond that. And they're still using, it's still an old movie, and they're still using a lot of practical effects, but it looks really good. So kudos to Jim Cameron.
That's right.
Yeah.
As he calls himself.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Jim.
I was like, who's Jim? Oh wait.
It's like, wait, who the fuck is Jimbo?
Hey guys, I'm Jim Cameron. I sailed to the bottom of the ocean and
I'm still
in a tiny ass little submarine.
Sub.
Help me, I'm stuck.
Just to make Avatar 2.
Which will
actually
Which
played
one
no part. I just wanted to do it because I'm crazy.
That's right.
I have a lot of money.
Jim
Because I'm
Cameron
off my
is
rocker.
insane.
I have a lot on my hands in terms of time and
this
money.
movie definitely felt okay. So did he direct Terminator 2?
I think, or I was trying to remember if that was the case. I think so.
I think he did. So this movie definitely has that like 80s blockbuster feel that you were mentioning. Like you appreciate the Hollywood blockbuster element. This movie definitely feels very 80s and very Hollywood, but not in a bad way. It doesn't feel like Transformers or anything like that. It just feels like a big budget like extravaganza, like sci-fi kind of action extravaganza.
I mean, it has like the Marines are just like these big like bulky people with these giant guns that are just like like, blowing things up. It's like, all right, this is just getting like wild, and like, but it's not done in a way where it's like, oh, this is just like ridiculous and over the top. It's just like, all right, these are big guns that are blowing things up. They're killing aliens. Like it's
And the other thing I was about to say, like just based on the movie in general, is like the whole thing about the Marines being douchebags. Like they're not good people. Like they're pretty terrible people, but they kind of the movie kind of like subverts itself. Like it kind of starts out with like Ripley being like the nerdy, not nerdy, but like the kind of like the outcast, kind of like no one believes her. Like they think she's super weak, and she's just going along as an advisor, and she's still on the ship, and she's not really doing anything. No one's listening to her. And then all these like beefy macho men and women, one woman, are going into the ship, and like they're just ready. They're like, oh yeah, we have like these giant guns, and we have flamethrowers, and we have grenade. Like that one guy literally lists off all the weaponry they have, and he's like, yeah, what are we afraid of? Like we're just gonna go in there and fucking like blow shit up. And then they go in, and with like their first encounter with the aliens, they just get fucked, and like everything goes wrong. And then I think after that, like their attitudes kind of change. Like they're still like bad people, but they no longer have those like macho kind of moments where they're like, fist pumping each other after saying like a one liner or saying
they're all like
that.
cooperative and like work with each other too. Like it's not like they're like bad to each other.
No, they're not.
Like they're so like one dimensional. Like every like it's like, oh, Hudson is like the dude who's just off his rocker and like losing it. It's like, okay, that's fine. And like
no, they are like
fine,
in terms of characterization that way, like there's nothing really that special about it, but I do kind of enjoy how the movie sets it up to be like this Terminator 2 or like 80s-esque action movie where they're just going to be these like unstoppable badasses, and then literally like the first 15 seconds of them fighting the aliens for the first time, they just completely fall apart. So they're kind of like, the movie at that point kind of turns more into like they're the prey at that point. Like they're not going in here and like, just killing thousands of these things. Like they're getting picked off and like getting destroyed.
I do also think that Ripley like is still, of the other Alien movies I've seen, especially like Alien Covenant, which came out like last year or 2 years ago or something like that. Like they tried to do the same thing. Like, oh, here's like this like female lead character who's like really strong and going to be our like person that you're gonna want to cheer for. Is like I fucking hate every character in Alien Covenant, especially like her. Like she's not a good lead character.
Yeah.
Ripley is like okay, like she's like
she's a great character.
Like, she's like your like every man is like all right. She's fine. Like she knows how to do shit. She's like the engineer person. Like when she like gets all her gear right at the end, and she's like all right, I'm going back to save Newt or whatever. It's like all right, get in there, Ripley, and kick some ass. And she does. It's just like has like her like double guns like attached to each other and like flamethrower like machine guns. It's just like this is like getting. Let's go.
The cool thing, and going off of that,
Let's go.
The reason I like this movie so much, I really, really like this movie. I think I probably like it more than Alien.
Yeah.
Just because of like just based on like a pure movie, like basis.
Much more exciting.
It is much more exciting than Alien. Alien is, I think, obviously more significant of
It laid the groundwork.
Like, yeah, it did, and it's a very like revolutionary.
Kind of had a stroke there.
No, that's true though. Like it definitely like. Are you okay? First off,
It took you like hesitated for a second because I had a stroke.
We were trying to register what you were saying. Like,
I was like, wait, what happened?
It laid the groundwork.
Well to town. No, but like that movie is definitely like a landmark cinematic achievement. And Aliens is too
Just like
on
Mac.
like another
Sorry.
on another plane, I suppose. Aliens is very significant as well. But anyway, the reason I like this movie is that I don't know, it does such a great job at making the aliens seem imposing and scary. Like it's you'd think that after watching Alien and having Ripley destroy that one and like we're sending out the airlock or whatever and then they go back, you'd think that you would just be like, okay, they would turn into like faceless like drones or something where like they'd just be slaughtering them by the hundreds and they wouldn't be very scary. Every time you see an alien in this movie, even when it's getting destroyed, you're like, oh god, thank god that there's one less of these things for them to fight. It doesn't really seem like they're these like empty kind of hollow like mannequins or something that they're fighting. It's like everyone is pretty frightening and scary.
I feel like that works too because they don't like you don't get a good look at a lot of the aliens in this movie for very long. Like there's a lot of scenes where they're just getting blown up. Like they're moving like this really like gangly like spindly way and like you don't see them very much. They're just immediately you see them, they're either like crawling through like a tunnel or something or they're getting shot. So you don't get to see a good look at them. And then when they finally do, like the scenes where they're like hunting and they're moving slowly, you're like, okay, like these things are like just like gross and creepy and like actual alien.
And there's like that the best scenes in the original Alien are when they like kind of methodically show the alien like doing some creepy ass shit. Like in this one there's a lot of scenes where like I think one of the first, I don't remember exactly what part it is, but like the aliens are like hiding on the wall amongst the sculptures and then they like unravel around off the wall and like jump off and attack people. Like that stuff is so crazy. And I really like it because this is one of the only movies where like all these people walk into this ship with enough firepower to take down like pretty much anything living that they know of that they've ever seen or been exposed to. But they go in here and then they, within like after that first battle, the rest of the movie is them like literally hiding and running away through like air ducts and like doing MacGyver shit to like escape and to live. They're not even really trying to hunt down these aliens anymore. They're like, okay, we just need to like find this girl. We need to get off the planet. We need to do X, Y, and Z to get out of here. We're not like, they're not even focused on like exterminating these things anymore. They just need to escape. And like, it's as soon as Ripley realizes that, she's like, okay, I need blueprints of like doing, the logical thing. Like we need to figure out the layout of this ship so that we can fucking just run away. They're not interested in anything else. Yeah. And that's what makes these things very scary. And
that's right.
It just gives you like a sense of fear where you don't feel like these things are just these, like, there's a lot of them, but you don't feel like they're just zombies or something where they can just cut through easily. It's like, you definitely feel that they're really afraid of these things.
I like when they also make it so like the aliens aren't just like, at a certain point, they make an effort to go, okay, these aren't just mindless creatures. Like, they cut the power. It's like, someone's like, what do you mean they cut the power? Like, they're like a creature. It's like, no, like these things pilot spaceships and like are smart and can like do things.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's when you're like, oh, like fuck, like that's not good at all because they're like thinking about how to like kill these people. It's like, this is like messed up now, and then like that's when
that's when they that's and they are
cool.
smart. Like there's that part where they set up like those automatic turrets in the hallways, like the proximity sensors or whatever, and then they stop, but they didn't exhaust all their ammo, and they're like, okay, well, they're probably trying to find another way around, and that's true because they realize that they're like getting fucked by those turrets, so now they're trying to like flank them and do all this kind of crazy stuff. Like when you think of it that way, they are really just at that point just prey stuck in a ship, and they're just being hunted, and that's what makes it badass. And you would think that with the number of aliens in this movie and the number of times you see them just getting obliterated by machine guns, you would just think nothing of them. But every time you see one of them in close proximity to a person, you're extremely afraid of what's going to happen because they're just killing machines.
Yeah.
And I think they do a great job at making... first off, the art design for them is extremely menacing and scary, and also the practical effects and the way they move and like the like creepy ass like they like drip slime and like weird ass stuff. Like it just looks gross, and they do a great job.
I agree.
I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, I feel like it's weird that they never like show like an alien for more than like 2 seconds at a time. I feel like there should be at least like 1 or 2 scenes where the aliens like literally you see an alien kill someone. I guess, is this movie rated R?
I think 100%.
It was either an R
sure.
or this is like
it's
one of
R.
those 80s PG-13s.
It's rated R.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is it even?
Do you really need to
what
look
is
it up?
for?
No, but
You're
I want to
looking
see
it up. You're looking it up. It's rated R.
I'm trying to think of like
I want to see what the first Alien movie was
warrants
rated.
like a rated R.
That synthetic dude getting impaled.
Yeah, that
and
was
ripped
what
in
I was
half.
gonna say. Is that only that is like a scene of like actual
There's
gore.
people being lit on fire. Like one of the dudes at the start gets. I think he gets
I believe
stabbed.
you. I'm looking up to see what the first one is rated.
Also R, I think.
Yeah.
Probably.
Anyways, but like I feel like there should be like a really bad scene of an alien like going in on a person.
I feel
it's
like
always like off screen.
I feel like they did that with the Queen though. Like that at that point in the movie when she goes down and like she's trying to leave the base or whatever, and she's like in that room with all the eggs. Like, well, immediately you're like, oh, this is gonna go bad. And then like she looks at the Queen and it's like, that's not good. I feel like that's the longest take of just like slowly zooming up. It's like gross like egg shaft thing, and then like looking at the Queen like up close. You're like, oh, that's not good. And then also that part with the Queen, like it like shows her, like coming out of the elevator and like the big fight at the end with the like exosuit thing. Like I felt like that was the point, but again, there's not a lot. I think hiding the aliens is a good way to keep them like not to keep it scary when they do appear. Not scary, but like keep it tense when they do appear.
Yeah, I was about to say one of the reasons that I so with Alien Covenant, there's a lot of parts of that movie I don't like. The human characters are not
I hate
good.
all of it.
Overall, it's not the best movie, but I do enjoy some of the scenes with the aliens. And there's some interesting, like the med bay scene. There's some. I don't want to go on.
Don't get me started.
I don't want to go on a rant about that movie, but there's some interesting parts to it, and I do like some of the scenes. But one of the problems I had was that there is just there's an overabundance and overexposure to the aliens themselves, and also just like a bunch of knowledge and information that we don't really need about the aliens. I think I mentioned this when we were watching the first Alien movie, but like the reason I like the alien creature so much, and the reason why like I'm totally against like aliens versus predators and all that bullshit, is that like it's more interesting when you know less about them or don't see them as much, because they're, like you said, like they pilot spaceships and they have like, they're obviously intelligent and they have like a civilization, like a culture and all this kind of stuff, but we don't know anything about it. Like they are expert killing machines. Their like anatomy is super strange. They have weird like faces and like things that pop out of their body, and like their blood is acidic and like all this crazy stuff, but we don't know why, and all we really know about them is that they're just ruthless killing machines, and like that's what makes them so creepy, is because you don't know anything about them. But once they start saying like, I'm sure in like the next Alien movie we're gonna like see an alien going to like elementary school and like, you know, growing up and shit, and like going to his first dance and stuff. It's like I don't need to know any of this stuff about aliens. Like I just want to see them kill shit.
Yeah. And
so it's upsetting. So I don't know. I think I don't want to know anything past what this movie shows me about the aliens.
Yeah.
Like they have a queen, they have like this whole colony thing. Like I don't need to know anything more.
They don't need a backstory. It's just, it's good to be like, okay, I like the introduction of the Queen, because that just makes sense. Like, oh, there's eggs. Like, how do they make the eggs? Obviously, there's a Queen. Like, they need some way to do that. And also, like that sets up the idea like, oh, this queen is like a menacing like thing, like it's gonna be the big bad, and it is. Like when you see it's like, oh, it's bigger than the other ones, it's grosser than the other ones,
and all the other aliens are clearly like following or listening
it's
to like
slightly more like sentient than the other ones. Like I really do like the scene at the end where it's like the queen and Ripley are like having a standoff, and Ripley like attempts to like burn with a flamethrower, and you can tell it's like, if you back away I won't kill you, and the alien doesn't do it. Like she calls off like the guards that are coming, and it's like, oh, like that's an interesting thing that's happening. Like this alien is clearly like capable of like thought right now. And then of course Ripley just burns everything down, but I mean, I don't blame her, but
she had to do it.
It's a fascinating, it's interesting to see that, but I don't need to know more. I don't need to hear the alien's thoughts. I just need to see that.
That's what I mean. Like they need to like, they drip feed you with enough things. And maybe like even Prometheus was like getting to a point where it was a little like, I know you haven't seen Prometheus, but they explain a little bit more about like the creation of the like civilization and like all that kind of stuff. And it's like, it's interesting, and it doesn't beat you over the head with anything really. It's very like convoluted. But then with Alien Covenant, they just go so far into like, they just don't need to do that. And I even think Ridley Scott in an interview, he was like, I can make alien movies forever. I could just make. He
never want to hear that.
No, he literally said that. He was like, I think I can make these movies forever. And
Ridley,
I'm not kidding. He actually said that. I was
if you're out there,
don't do that. Like,
just stop.
Just don't do that anymore. Like you can make, I don't know, make them in like a different universe or something. Maybe show like an alternate timeline of the aliens. Don't give me any more information about like their creation or anything. All I need to know is that it's a weird ass species that is really good at killing shit, and just show me like scenarios with that. I don't need to know anything else. I don't want to. It's upsetting.
He doesn't care about you.
He doesn't. But I feel like Alien Covenant didn't perform as well as he was probably expecting it to. So maybe he'll actually fucking listen.
Yeah, or we just won't have any more alien movies.
I don't think he's gonna like.
He can make them forever.
He's never gonna like dumb his movies down.
I don't want him to dumb it down.
No, I don't.
Want him to like. I want him to take a step back and like just change the setup for the movie, because like the new one is
yes, that's true.
The new one, like after seeing Aliens, you can look at Alien Covenant and be like, oh, they're just riffing on a bunch of stuff that's already been done in those movies. It's like, here's
a team gets sent.
The team gets sent. They have the heroic female leader. They have the shitty other people.
Yeah, they land on a strange planet. They find a cave of eggs.
Like they all fuck up. Like the synthetic robot. It's a weird dude. It's like, okay, I fucking get it. But like,
someone gets infected and they get back to the ship and compromise everyone else.
There's a way to make Alien Covenant and another Alien movie that's not as like it's not so much about the history of the aliens. It's just about like the feeling of terror and like fear. Like that's what I want from an Alien movie. I don't care about their backstory. I don't care about the setup for their universe. Like I don't care about Aliens universe. I don't care about the city that Ripley is like going back to. Like none of that stuff matters. I don't care about any of that stuff. I just care about the fight of survival against aliens.
Exactly, and that's the point. Like when you said you want the feeling of fear and terror and like all that kind of stuff. The fact that, in my mind, they were able to do that just as well, if not better, in some ways than the original Alien in terms of terror and like the fear of just of this species. Even when there's like hundreds of them, or like however many you see, I'm sure we see like 50 plus aliens.
Yeah,
in this
there's
movie.
a lot in this one.
They said there were hundreds because of we saw the number of eggs and then also the colonists that were like cocooned or whatever. But like the fact that I personally was still as afraid of them in groups or like being like overexposed to them as I was with one like hunting the ship in the first one is impressive, and I think they just need to capitalize on that terror rather than like the lore of the species and like the civilization stuff. Like I don't care about that.
Yeah, I agree.
But he won't do that.
Yeah, you never know.
We'll see.
All right. Any other closing thoughts, or shall we move on to review?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is not really related to this movie, but what if we saw not a reboot, but some sort of like return to form for the Alien series with Sigourney Weaver? Sigourney Weaver.
I think that would be fine. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the next movies, if they do have another Alien movie, does that, because like Prometheus and Covenant are like building up to presumably like the beginning of Alien at some point. Like they're already getting there. Like. So eventually I would imagine her coming in as like not a main character, maybe like a cameo or something, but I would like to see them just change the tone of the next movie and like just dial down like the action, dial down the like just
the lore, the world building,
background
and all
story.
that,
Just
yeah.
you can do world building, but like do it in a way that's like works with aliens.
The way
and
they're
not
doing it
with
right now
people.
is not the way to do it.
Like the people are the least interesting part of almost every single Alien movie, especially the new ones, particularly Covenant. Everyone's shit in Covenant.
That's true.
I hate everyone. People are bad.
They're all pretty bad. They're all really stupid.
People are all bad.
People are terrible.
People equal shit,
Yeah.
as Slipknot once
Listen,
said.
I'm glad the aliens took some of them down.
All right.
Dane, what would you give this movie? Aliens.
I honestly think this is as close to perfect as a blockbuster film of this style gets. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 9.5, which would I guess would be an A, on the cusp of an A+. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really say anything super negative about this movie. I think it accomplishes everything it sets out to do very well. And it is a perfect little 80s time capsule of action and fun.
All right.
So, yeah. I don't know. It's just a very pure, in my mind, it's a very pure, straightforward action, like, thriller movie. And it hits every beat.
That's right.
So I like it a lot.
I think that Jiminy Cameron likes to have his movies appeal to as wide of a demographic as possible. So I think
that's true.
As far as my recommendations, there's a lot of people that would enjoy the movie. If you enjoy, straightforward action movies, if you enjoy, gritty sci-fi, a la Star Wars, a la Blade Runner, you'll definitely enjoy it. And it's simple enough so that, if you just want, a fun popcorn blockbuster, you'll enjoy it too. So, yeah. Good movie. I think pretty much anyone would enjoy to some degree, although it is 2.5 hours long. So
yeah, which we did watch the special edition, but still, I think it
only adds like 14 minutes.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Still over 2 hours.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to add on top of that really quickly is I think it holds up very well too.
I think you've said enough.
Wow, I'm offended. No, but in terms of your recommendation, like all those things you said, I think it is relevant today even. Like I think people who haven't seen this and they're like, it's from the 80s, like it's an old movie, it's a talkie. I feel like a lot of people nowadays who haven't seen it would still really enjoy it.
So it's not like Leon.
No,
it's not the first film.
Listen, it was made, relatively recently. Leon the Professional was made like in 1801 or something. That's not...
I can't wait to see just what that movie looks like. I don't want to see a frame of it. I just want to be surprised.
I want to look at literally nothing but
Watch
that movie.
you end up really liking that movie.
I will.
We'll see. Could happen.
The bias has already been set.
Just ridiculously by this point.
All right, I will give Aliens. Listen, it's not gonna be my best joke score, but I feel bad about this one. I'm just gonna give it 9 alien eggs out of 10.
You tried. You tried.
I don't know of really a better one to do.
There were more than 10 alien eggs, but
57 years out of 60.
Yeah,
that's really high.
Yeah, but yeah, this movie great, stands the test of time. I think it holds up better than a movie like Predator, which is another like straight up action movie from around the same era.
Yeah,
this movie I think is remarkably better than Predator. Like in
that's right.
Pretty much every category.
Yeah.
So if you want a movie,
although the Marines were much more likable in Predator.
True. I mean,
true.
You gotta love Schwarzenegger and a bunch of other people. Like they have more like charisma and chemistry with each other in Predator.
Like the camaraderie and everything is there.
But like this
sure.
movie is on a much different level. I feel like so. Yeah. Great film still. All right.
A true classic through and through.
Yeah, I would say this movie is a classic. All right. At the end of this podcast, we will pick another movie to watch by next episode. Please watch it along with us so we don't spoil everything about the movie for you.
As per usual, I'm nervous. I'm always nervous
About
to
the
pull.
film.
I don't know to
You're
pull a
nervous.
film. I'm already nervous.
Yeah. All right. Let's
Calm
move
down.
on to our final segment. Anime. I've hijacked this.
Lols.
I'm kidding. I haven't.
It's your podcast now.
I haven't been watching any anime lately, so I can't do that. But I have been playing some video games, as I know you guys may or may not have been.
I sure have.
I know Dane has. So Dane, let's hear about your video games that you're playing.
Tell us about one of your games, Bad.
Tell us about all your games. Go.
Okay.
Go.
This week, there are two, or over the past time since we recorded, there's been 2 major releases, both of which I've
Dayblob
been playing.
and World of Goo.
Diblob 3 and
Slime Rancher 2.
and Slime Rancher 2.
This whole slime.
There was a
bit
huge
is great.
update.
I love it.
There was a
Rancher-
huge update to Slime Rancher.
was
I
on
didn't
sale.
try it yet.
It was on sale the other day. I almost picked it up.
I did see that it was on
It
sale.
was like
And
$9 or something
I almost
like
texted
that.
it to you guys.
Yeah.
Guys,
Slime Rancher. I was actually gonna send that in the Discord.
I should have bought it for a goof and then just refunded it, but
You should
not
have.
worth
You
the
should have
effort.
gifted it to Coulter.
Oh,
I would
God.
actually. I would play it.
That would be silly.
It's a fun game. Okay, so
All right, your segment's over.
Yeah,
all
you
right,
talked
so
about your
the
games.
first
All right,
the
Jordan.
first major release was probably the bigger of the arguably the bigger of the two that I've been playing is Far Cry 5. And
The
now
7th game in the Far Cry series.
sure, probably. I don't know how many there are at this point. I've lost count. And so, look, I'll preface this by saying that I played Far Cry 2 on the Xbox 360. That's a strange game. That's a really weird game. You had like malaria. You had to like take pills and shit. It was uber realistic.
I'm not saying this as a joke. That game was ahead of its time when it came out.
Way far ahead of its time. Like very far
Yeah,
ahead
that's
of its
true.
time. I did. I had a joke.
I could imitate it, but I won't because that would be rude.
Well,
You're having another
yeah. I mean,
one.
I
Just go.
didn't imitate your stroke earlier. So
That's right.
you should respect.
That's
Stroke for stroke.
You actually did. You actually did imitate his stroke earlier.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We'll
you
have to-
kind of did actually. Yeah, I'll find the footage. Don't you worry.
Listen, it's recorded on camera. I mean,
All right. Yeah. So I've been playing Far Cry 5. Yeah. Far Cry 2. The reason I bring that up is because the Far Cry series has had a interesting rise and fall.
yeah.
Mostly rise,
It's
I guess.
certainly been on a downturn.
It's
lately.
been weird, yeah. So like Far Cry 2 was so strange, and then they Far Cry 3 was kind of like the revitalization of the Far Cry series. It was frequently described as many by Skyrim with guns,
Yeah.
which is sort of like what it was going for. You could basically, it was the beginning, I think, of around the beginning of the Ubisoft formula. Climb a big tower, see a lot of shit on your map.
Big open world.
Go to all of the things on your map and have fun doing a lot of different
Yeah.
things over and over again. At the time, it was very novel. I think Far Cry 3 is a fantastic game. Cool villain. It sets up a lot of cool stuff. And then Far Cry 4, shortly afterwards, when I played it, it was one of the few times where I just felt fatigue. Like
Yeah.
and there's nothing like really inherently wrong with the game. Like the villain is pretty cool. I really like the setting and things like
By
that.
all
but, like,
accounts, that game does everything Far Cry 3 did, and some of it even a little better. But when I started playing it, I was just so like it had been 2 or 3 years since I played Far
yeah.
Cry 3, and I was still like, it felt like I'd played like it yesterday or something. I was just like, I can't, like, I just got so bored with it, so I had to stop. But,
yeah, and like we played that in co-op too. Like that was
Yeah.
like, and the co-op was not good. And yeah, so like, the point is that Far Cry hasn't always been my favorite series. 3, I did do everything in. I did all like the side quests. I did all the collectibles, and like that's very rare for me to do like literally everything. So that was super fun. And Far Cry 4 was disappointing. I didn't play Primal, so who knows. But with 5, I was hesitant because the reviews are good. They're not really saying that it's like super revolutionary or like changing the formula. But out of morbid curiosity, I decided to try it under the guise of, or under the, knowing that I could refund it on Steam if it was really that bad. And I'm happy to say that it's not bad at all, actually. I really enjoyed this game. It's pretty fun. It is certainly not going to... Well, I will say, one of the cool things that 3 did well, and 4, was that it kind of, like, their whole focus is having, like, a crazy villain, like a crazy antagonist who, like, does super crazy monologues. Like, the one from the third one is sort of like the Joker. And
They're all very charismatic.
Yeah, like, they're, like, really well-written, and they're interesting villains. So with this one, he is... it's set in Montana, first off. So it's set in Hope County, Montana, fictional... rural Montana locale, where like a doomsday cult has taken over, and Joseph Seed is like this like crazy cult leader, sort of like I don't really know what I would. It's like super like uber religious. Like they basically he's claiming that like there's some sort of like apocalypse coming or something.
Yeah.
He's going to be the one to like take everyone with him to heaven and like rescue everyone.
So far, I've heard nothing that's different from Outlast 2.
it is actually very similar to Outlast 2 in terms of like the crazy like uber religious aspect of it. But
and in every other facet.
It's kind of where is Outlast 2 taking?
I'm just saying that I was making a joke that it's exactly like Outlast 2 in every way.
Yeah, and I hate Outlast 2.
Well, I wasn't referring to that, but
I thought you were saying that it's interesting that I like this, even though I don't like it. Oh, okay.
You went there yourself. That's fine.
You connected those dots.
That's true. Well, I did start thinking about that once you brought up Outlast 2. Anyway, yeah, so this game has that crazy villain and is set in a place that would seem like it's less interesting than like some island. I don't remember where it was exactly in Far Cry 3, but some jungle essentially. And then Far Cry 4 was in like the Himalayas or something.
Yeah,
like
to it.
Yeah, so like this weird like mountainous region. And this is set in Montana, so much more grounded. It has like, you know, typical like people driving around like hicks on ATVs and like trucks and Jeeps and all this kind of stuff. But it's in basically the area that I chose to start with is like a very like hilly, mountainous, like kind of like river region with a bunch of like wildlife and everything. And it's exciting because it's done away with the whole like climb a tower, fill up a map, like check off everything on your list, to where now like it's kind of funny because the first tower that you climb in the game, as you're climbing up, the guy on the radio is like, "Oh, I know what you're thinking. Like, don't worry, I won't make you waste all your fucking time like climbing a bunch of radio towers. Like, you can rest easy," or something like that. So they're kind of acknowledging that like people were kind of sick of that, which I thought was funny. But now the way it works is it's much more organic, and it is way more similar to not even Far Cry 3, probably more similar to like Skyrim or Oblivion, where like as you're wandering around, you'll see like a little icon pop up on your map or something. You'll be like, "Oh, I wonder where that is," and like go run over and explore that area. And like it'll be like an outpost that you have to fight, which is typical of Far Cry, or like an environmental puzzle, or like some sort of like side character out in the wilderness like randomly by themselves, and you'll start like a event with them or something. And like there's no real way to like pick up like a collectible or something where it's like, okay, here's 75 things on your map, go and do it. It's more like you'll get to an outpost, kill all the enemies, people will show up, and then maybe like there'll be 3 people there that you talk to, and each one of them is like, "Oh, I heard about nearby there's some crazy guy with a sniper rifle in a tower, and he's going off on like the cultists," and then you'll go over there and meet a new character and like stuff like that. There's no real like dumping of quests on you, so it doesn't feel like that whole Ubisoft checklist where you're like, okay, here we go, I'm gonna go do 6 follower missions in this area or something.
That sounds better, but to me, one of the worries I would have is the same problems I have with a lot of other open-ish games, because I know like the premise for each area is like you go in, you do these quests or whatever, you fill up a bar, once it reaches the top, you fight the boss of the area or whatever. But if there's no like directed like objective, like there are obviously story missions, but there's no like directed like path you're taking, like how easy is it to just like are you constantly just like walking in a direction and then like seeing something pop up, or like how easy is it to like constantly be doing something, like following a trail of something, or do you have to like go out and explore it yourself? Because if that's the case, I don't like that.
It's
that got real.
It's interesting because like, so the reason I like it is because it is sort of like, it's reminiscent of Skyrim, or which is the easiest thing I can really compare it to, is because like as soon as you get off the intro island, you can choose any region to go to, and then when you get there, the entire area is clouded. Like there's no way to like decloud the area without going there yourself. Even if you talk to someone at an outpost or at some like wherever it is, and that's most of the time how you're finding out these things. You either like talk to a person and they say like, "Oh, I heard about so and so like over in this area," or I think I saw like a cultist heading over here like with a convoy or something, and then it'll be like really close to you, and so you'll basically be in a little area, and then they'll tell you about something like within like driving distance of you or something. They never say like, "Oh, just so you know, there's a super cool thing like on the southern side of the island," and then it just declouds the entire thing and shows you like where you're gonna go. You kind of have to like branch out and figure that out for yourself. But so far, at least the area that I chose, which is the western region, like the whole left side of the map and like lower left side, is pretty huge, and it's pretty densely packed with stuff. Like you on the way to any given destination, like things will be popping up, or like if you are flying in a plane, as you fly over things, it won't show you that area on the map, but it'll leave like a little blip, like a little location marker, and it'll say like, you know, Big John's airfield or something, and like you don't really know what that is, but you can drive there yourself, and then there'll be like a mission or something. Okay. So it encourages exploration and feels much less like, okay, let me climb this tower, or like let me go to X point, do this thing, and then get a checklist given to me. It's more like, okay, let me build the checklist myself, essentially. Like as you kind of have to go out and like choose to do these things. It's no longer like, okay, I have this mission to do, I have 3 missions, let me just go and drive to each of these points and do these really boring, like, you know, kind of organically. Now it's like you are kind of just given a whole entire map, and you just go and figure out that stuff for yourself. Now the other thing is that there's the story missions and everything are presented really like sort of like Breath of the Wild almost, where like not in the same way that they're presented to you in terms of the story like cutscenes or anything, but more like you have to go out and choose to do these story missions. So you're not really being funneled through like a narrative. It's more like, if I wanted to, for the first, like, I think I played for like 5-6 hours now, I literally could have spent all that time doing side missions. You're never really forced to do like a story mission or anything like that. So if you don't want to, or if you don't like that feeling of like having to put yourself out there and choose to do things of your own accord, then it's probably not for you. Like, you're not really funneled into any specific activity.
Yeah. I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on the story in the game, because I haven't heard fantastic things or even good things about it. So I'm curious as to what your thoughts are going to be. Because I know more about this game than I should not playing it, because I was curious about it enough to know I'm probably not going to buy it. But the premise and like setup for the game is interesting, but I'm curious as to how you're going to feel about it as you go through it. So far, basically from what I've gathered, so in this first area, like basically as Jordan was saying, like you get dropped into this area, and then at each time you do anything, like if you kill like in battle, there'll be like VIP members of the cult, so like people who are essentially like probably like have more heavily armored, or like have like some sort of like physical distinction to them, will have like you'll get like points for killing them. Or if you blow up like fuel tankers, or like supply trucks, or like any sort of like property for the cult, like you'll get points towards this resistance meter. And then if you like do side missions for people, if you like do anything really that like disrupts the cult in any way, which there are a ton of ways to do it so far, at least, you just get points on this bar. And then there's like, I think 3 like little like checkpoints, or like 3 little like segments that you get to. So like the first one, when I got to it, and this is the kind of weird part, because this is like the sort of natural / unnatural way of doing a story, where like once you get to that first point, and for me, when I got to that first little checkpoint on the meter, I hadn't done any story missions. I had just been doing side content. And then when I hit that point on the radio, like the antagonist of that region like directly contacted me, and he was like, "Oh, you fucker, like you're disrupting my," or like you think like you can just roll in here and mess up my established whatever. And then he sends like a capture team or something to go find you. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like wherever you are in the wild or the map, like for me, I was in the middle of like a field or something, and like a helicopter literally just like flew over me, and a bunch of people jumped down and just like sleep darted me. And then I got taken to like this facility or something. And then I just did the second one, I think, where I actually get like taken and like tortured by one of the guys. You got taken again.
Yeah, I got taken again. So that's interesting, because every time I get to that checkpoint, like
you get taken.
People take me. Yeah.
Now, how would you feel about doing that 6 times?
Probably not great. Is that how it is for every?
I have to imagine that's what
area?
happens every single time.
I don't know if it is or not.
Like that seems so. It seems ridiculous that if you the first time you're like, okay, like you do whatever you do, and then he's like, I'm gonna take you, and then he does. Like, okay, I get it. And then like if it happens again, he's like, I'm gonna take you again. It's like, when do you like that? Like part of the narrative to me is just like wouldn't you like be more prepared, or like wouldn't like at some point you get what he's gonna do to you? It's like just like stop, like stop.
Because
kill him.
the second time that happened, I saw that I was getting close to the bar, and then when he actually called me and he was like, it's been a long time since we've talked or something like that. Like, you better come back, or like, I better, like, we need to have another discussion or something. Whatever he says, like, I knew that he was gonna send the capture team after me, so I got in a Jeep, and I literally drove like PUBG style, like the devil inside me, off of a mountain, and I was literally going like 100 miles per hour down the side of a mountain, like knocking trees over, and like I did like multiple barrel rolls like down the mountain. I was just like, my car was on fire, and I was just doing crazy shit. And as I was doing that, the cars started chasing me down the hill, and they were shooting me with the darts and trying to kill me, and they actually ended up capturing me. My car, I literally drove down the side of a mountain. My car was on fire. I like crashed through a forest or something, ended up in a river, had to like swim out of the car, like in the river up to the surface, and then they sleep darted me and took me. So there's no way to escape that.
Yeah.
Like I tried to like do the most ridiculous thing possible, and they still got me. If that happens in every region, I'll be a little disappointed. Because that seems like a cheap way to. It's basically just like, to be fair, it was kind of cool because this guy, the guy that I'm fighting or whatever in this region, is the one who like indoctrinates the like cultists, and like who like essentially brainwashes them, and like introduces them to like the teachings and things like that. So he's not really like a soldier or like a evil dude per se. He's more just like a really persuasive, like kind of fucked up like preacher dude. And so he's really just talking to you and saying a bunch of creepy ass shit. And he even mentions that like he's not there to kill you or like to cause physical harm or anything to you, really. He's mostly just trying to like poison your mind or like try to like lead you to salvation or whatever. So he's just kind of talking and like doing a lot of like psychological warfare on you. Like when you're escaping the building, you are given like a pistol and that's it, and you have to like gun your way out of this building. And as you're doing that on the loudspeaker, he's like, oh, you think violence will solve all your problems, like kind of saying all these things about how like I'm more of a monster than he is because I'm killing all of his men, and like
even though there's absolutely zero way you can get out of the situation without committing
I know,
violence.
and that was the other thing. When he's saying that, I'm thinking like, when he's saying, oh, like, have you ever considered like there's other options outside of violence? And I'm like, well, no, not really, because the game gave me a gun and I have to gun my way out of this.
But the game doesn't allow for me to actually do that, so I have to kill.
Yeah, and so there's like it's at odds with itself in some ways. So the story I don't think is going to win any awards. I can already say that, but the gameplay for me is interesting because I like that Far Cry style of gameplay, and like that. Say what you will about the Ubisoft checklist, it can be interesting when applied in certain ways. Like the latest Assassin's Creed, I thought did it pretty well and things like that. This feels like it's getting on a better track towards like good game design rather than just like really lazily filling a map up with 6 different points that just dump information on you. So it's interesting as a video game and as a fun time. I think it's pretty good. I don't think it'll win any Game of the Year awards. I think the reviews that I read are probably pretty accurate about it. So,
all right,
it's not anything extravagant, but it is fun. So I like that.
I like that.
I like that. It's just sometimes it's nice to just sit back and play a fun video game, and I'm okay with that.
As opposed to all the shit ones you usually play.
Well, no, like, you know, there's always going to be the God of Wars and the Last of Us and, you know, the art pieces. Sometimes it's okay to play a somewhat mindless, fun shooter. And I haven't played one in a while, so I'm enjoying it. Should I talk about my other game, or should I let someone else have the soapbox?
Would you like to have a soapbox, Jordan?
I can for a brief moment.
Go ahead.
I have one more game to talk about, but
yeah.
Go for it.
I thought you were just going to go into it.
I haven't played too much different from last week. I am continuing to play Dragonball Fighterz a lot, trying to hone my skills. I've been climbing the ranked ladder pretty consistently.
Okay.
Are you going to go to EVO?
I'm not there yet. I've almost breached like the top like 50,000 players, which I think is like a noble accomplishment. I don't know what the
does it have a like. How do you know that?
It has a leaderboard, like a ranked leaderboard.
Mm-hmm. And you see like your number?
Yeah, so what happens is when the ranked system, you when you win a match, you gain just like a number of points. Like if I win if I win a fight against it's like the same like MMR rating that in other games. If I win a fight against someone who's around my rank level, I'll gain like 1,700 battle points, whatever it's called. If you lose against someone,
that?
Yeah, every time you win or lose a match, it will give you up or down the increase. And then there's also like tiers, like title ranks, like they're like dumb, like DBZ stuff. So like I'm like Super Saiyan rank right now or something like that. And like it just
Listen,
like
you got to be that god.
yeah. One of them is called like Supreme Kai or like something like that. It's just like this is like silly, but
That's
like
suitably Dragon Ball.
yeah, it's all
suitably
very
anime.
yeah, it's all like Dragon Ball stuff. But like, so I've been doing that. One of the things I like about the ranked is that even if you start like a low level, like you can choose like, do I want to play against someone who's my like skill level, like my skill level or better than me based on like their rank or whatever. If you fight people who are better than you, if you win, not only do you gain way more like battle points, but if you lose, you can also still gain some, like depending on how well you do. Like sometimes it'll like knock you off. Yeah, like yeah, exactly. Like sometimes if
it's a lose-lose for them, kind of.
Yeah, but I don't. So sometimes it does a weird thing where like I'll be fighting someone who's either my skill level or like slightly higher. I'll beat them 2 times, and I'll say I get like 1,700, like 2,000 points each. And then the third fight that I win, because it's best of 3 in the not best of 3, but well, best of 3, like first of 3, whatever it is. When I win or like if they win like third one, the battle point like rankage is like, oh, I just gained like 15,000 points. For like no discernible reason. So I don't really know like the like math that's going into that, because like it seems kind of random, but it makes it so that like I don't ever feel that bad when I lose, because I know it's like, okay, well if I get into a match and someone's like twice as high battle points, I'm like, oh, like I'm not going to lose that much if I do lose, and if I do win, like I am like get a huge boost to my rank up or whatever. So
that's a good way to approach that.
It is. It's I think it's done in like a really smart way, so you never like feel bad. Although today I did feel bad because I lost a lot of rounds today. It wasn't on my game, and it's a little demoralizing when I'm like, oh, like I did well, like I was on a good streak yesterday, and then today I just got like trashed by some people. But they released 2 new characters today, so some people have been messing around with those guys. And
are they paid?
They are. They're a little pricey, to be honest. They're $5 each.
Is it Jimmy Neutron and Kermit?
I wish. It's Broly and Bardock.
Okay.
Bardock is in there?
Bardock got added to the game.
That's amazing.
Who it's honestly.
Oh, you mean Brigitte?
Yeah, it's honestly not that cool.
Brunhilde.
Because Bardock looks,
Brunhilde.
he's in Dragon Ball Z canon is Goku's dad. He literally looks exactly like Goku, except he has a scar on his face. Like I'm not kidding.
Oh, yeah.
He looks actually no different. He has the same hairstyle, has the same face design. He just has a scar. So it's like, okay, it's just another like
it's his dad. Outfit.
It's a Goku skin, but like he has a different moveset, so that's fine. But Broly is actually a cool character. He's a giant. He's like a big character, so he's like twice as tall as most other characters, which is like a weird thing.
He's the Zangief.
Yeah, which means like it has like a gameplay effect too, because like he has like huge hitbox, so like you can do like weird combos on him and stuff like that. But also he's like a powerhouse character, so he's kind of hard to block and things like that.
He's Sagat.
No, Sagat's not quite big. No, big characters like
Zangief
Bob.
Or fucking E Honda.
Yeah, those are big characters. Yeah. A lot of people if you can make like a team of 3 big characters, like they have to call those big body teams, which I think is just funny because
that's good.
That's just silly. Or big boy teams.
Yeah,
I like those.
The big boys.
That's a joke after your own heart.
Yeah, it's a silly name for that.
Big man teams.
Yeah, big man team, big bodies, tall boy teams. I like all those. Those are all like funny teams.
Tall boy.
They're all like really silly names for that.
A tall boy trio.
Yeah. So
let's go.
I've been playing that and more Ghost of the Tail, which same Redwall-esque. Redwall the game.
Redwall the game.
That game is really cool. I highly recommend it. It's not a children's game. I want to make that abundantly clear.
No, I know, and you would never be caught dead playing it if it was, so you want to make sure.
But the thing is, I'm being 100% serious, is that because I don't want people to get the wrong impression of the game. It's not like, if you look at it, you're like, oh, like you're playing as like a cute little mouse dude. It's like, yeah, you are, but the world is...
Tilo Taquito.
Yeah, Tilo the mouse. The world is not like a friendly world. It's like you're in a dungeon, you're put in jail for like trying to spark like revolution against the government. Like the writing is like very serious too. It's all like very weird political stuff.
But you're still a mouse.
But you're still a little cute little mouse.
You're still a little pussy.
I got a cool little I got a thief outfit for my mouse. A pirate outfit.
A pirate outfit?
Mm-hmm.
That's not childish in any way.
Eye patch?
He does have an eye patch.
That's fucking let's go.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
that
you got a little
fun.
pinwheel hat too.
Yes.
Does he have a little? Does he have a little? Does he have a little
get a
pirate
little
hat and his little
sorcerer
ears are poking out of his little pirate hat?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Listen, the game's very cute.
Dude,
He's a cute little
I'm literally
character.
going to buy that off my phone right now.
It's a fun game, but yeah, it's fun. I don't know how long it is. I feel like I played it for about like 8 hours, I think.
So, is it just basically puzzles, like trying to progress
Yeah.
through the level? Okay.
It's, yeah, basically an exploration puzzle game. Like,
Is it like Ty the Tasmanian Tiger?
I couldn't tell you. I don't remember how that game played. And it's
No one
stealth.
does.
I'm gonna cause you pain.
It's a stealth. It's a stealth game. Like you're sneaking around
With my
behind
boomerangs.
cars and stuff, like stealing things and doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, that game is fun.
Is there voice acting?
No, it's not. The cool
Damn
thing-
it.
The cool thing about the
He's
game,
not
though,
voiced?
no,
Does
the
he just
game,
go...
he doesn't. No one makes a lot of noise. The game is made by like 4 people, which like you probably wouldn't notice when you look at the game because it looks like a AAA like level quality of graphics. It looks fantastic, but like it was made by like 4 people. It was
We're
in
looking
early
at
access for a
Unreal
while.
Engine.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, but it's
Probably.
it's a cool game. It just got like a huge patch recently because it was kind of buggy. I didn't experience too many of them, but a lot of people said there were some bugs with the game.
Listen, the game seems interesting to me.
It is. It's
How much is it?
$20, $25.
Okay, I'll wait for the sale.
Yeah,
Put it on your wish list. They'll send you a handy dandy email.
They will.
I would recommend
enjoy
it.
that.
It's a cool game. It can be kind of just like
I kind of wish you could fight with your little sword.
I do.
But-
There's not combat per se,
With your little sword.
but you can pick up like bottles and sticks and like throw them at guards to knock them out. If they like catch
Well,
up to you.
that's
and
not
stuff like
enough,
that.
but-
it's not enough, but yeah.
I imagine him
It is what
fighting
it
with
is.
the little like plastic sword that they put in your little Jolly Rogers on the little cherry and your
Yeah.
little soda.
Swizzle stick.
Is that what?
Kind of.
I don't know about that.
Swizzle sticks are longer than that, but yeah, they
Okay.
do have those swords with the cherries. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like a
you're
little like it looks like a little
gonna
like
fight you.
Yeah, I'm a little Barbarossa.
Yeah, I did get a
Barbara Ann.
one of the quests in the game requires me to pretend to be a guard, so I had to find a set of guard armor, and when he puts it on, he can't run because
Traverse
it's
Town.
I was about to say,
very
did he walk
heavy.
around like a little
He
guard?
does. He does. He has to like waddle around.
That's
because
amazing.
He's really
Dude,
heavy.
it sounds really cute and charming.
It's a charming game, but again, like
Not
it's
childish.
Is he cute?
He's a cute little mouse. Like he's a
Okay.
little furry dude. He has a loop
He's
because
a little furry dude.
he's a minstrel.
Is he your damn idol?
No, he's not. That. He doesn't talk. Well, I mean, you have dialogue choices, but he's not a voiced.
So there is like dialogue.
yeah, you
in the
talk.
game. Okay.
There's a lot of written dialogue, like, and it's most of it's like pretty good too.
Does he talk?
Can
No,
we do
no
the
one talks.
dialogue?
No. I mean, like, does he have written? Sorry, does he have written
Yes,
dialogue?
yeah,
Okay.
he does have written dialogue. One of the other things the game does that I think they might have taken this from Pyre is that when you're like reading the sentences, they'll highlight some of the words, and when you press a button or whatever, it like gives you the lore of what the word says because like it has like
that.
it has a very like deep like story to the game.
I like
which
that
is
in
pretty
Pyre
cool.
a lot.
You're losing me with that. So
But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting game, so I would recommend it to people who want a decent puzzle game. It can be slightly the puzzles sometimes are a little confusing because there's not a lot of guidance to them.
hints or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of guidance. You can like get help with like it's like, oh, I need to find a certain key. You can talk to some dude, and if you pay him like the currency you find in the game, he'll like help you out. But some of them I either had to look up online, or one of them I just straight up can't find it. Like I can't find help for this quest online. I don't know if it's because people haven't like gotten to it, or they haven't like they added it later in the game. But like I can't find information on
insane.
it. Yeah, it's pretty wild. So it's just like, well,
Wait,
I don't know
so
what to do.
does one of the problems that I have with puzzle games?
Dan, you're gonna need to put your face up to the mic,
You're gonna need to eat them,
or at least
I don't
talk
want you to tell
towards
me
it.
what to do. One of the problems I have with puzzle games in particular, or games that feature puzzles, is when they don't make the rules clear enough. Does this game have that problem?
No, they're
Like, and what I mean by that is like when you think of something like Portal, or
Yeah.
like, and that's kind of unfair because Portal is one of the most intricately designed games of all time. But with Portal, like you have your portals, you have your gels, you have the cubes, you have like buttons and turrets and things like that. Like you just are, you're never confused on what to do,
right.
or you're never confused on how to do something. You're just confused on what to do. But with things like I don't even know what a good example would be. Sometimes in Uncharted, specifically, like you get a little confused because it's like the gameplay switches so much between, and that's a really specific example, but like it switches so much between like the jumping and running and all that kind of stuff, the gunning, and then you go to the puzzle, and it's like a very specifically designed instance where you're like, I don't know what really to do here. It's kind of not clear. Is it like that
I think
at
I've
all?
given the wrong like it's not a puzzle game. Like
No,
you're
I
not-
know, I
You're
know.
not solving like these kind of like crazy puzzles. It's like environmental. Like you need to a lot of them are like, here's like a riddle, or like someone's like, oh, here, like you need to light these candles in the order that this like lore like riddle is given to you. It's like, oh, this person died before this person, so you need to like light the candles in the correct order. Or like there's a guard here, how am I supposed to sneak around him? Oh, like I can like throw a bottle, or I can hit him in the head or whatever and like sneak around, or things like that. Or like the one where it's like you need to, because they give you quests in the game too, which help like with the objectives. So one of them's like, you need to find this guard armor. Here's what you need to do to find it. Then you also need to do this and this, and like it tells you where to go. You just need to find like the right keys or the right way to get there.
Right, like
the world is pretty big.
Some of that sort of reminds me, and it's probably not exactly the same thing, but sort of like Myst or a game like that, where like it's not necessarily free form, but like the way that that puzzles, quote unquote, are presented to you is very organic and natural. Which I like that. But if it's something that's confusing, the reason I don't like games like, the reason I'm scared to play something like The Witness or something like that is because I feel like the puzzles or something will be so abstract and so like unclear and exactly the things you can do to complete them, that I just get frustrated, because I'm like, I don't want to have to figure out like what the game is allowing me to do. I want to know what I'm allowed to do, but be confused on what to do with
exactly
it.
Like you have very few interactions in the game. It's like you can run, you can sneak, you can grab items, and that's pretty much all you're gonna do. Like, or like the puzzle is finding how to get to where you need to go, finding the key to get to where you need to go, or like there's like really simple like environmental puzzles, like I need to push this barrel on top of this dude's head, or I need to like sneak around this like enemy trap, or things like that. Like it's not a puzzle game like you're moving blocks around and like trying to like solve like arithmetic or something like that. Also, The Witness is a fantastic fucking game. So play The Witness.
A fucking game.
But yeah,
I brought that up as a modern puzzle game. Yeah, I do want to play it.
The Witness, in my opinion, one of the best modern puzzle games ever made. Better than Portal.
Really?
Yeah.
Portal 1 or 2 or both? Damn.
But the personality of Portal, does it come anywhere near that?
No, The Witness doesn't have a lot of personality. It has beautiful visual design, but the puzzle design in The Witness is above and beyond anything that Portal's ever come close to, by magnitudes of 10.
Fair enough.
But yeah, other than Dragon Ball, Ghost of a Tale, not much else. A little bit of Rainbow Six Siege, but nothing special about that.
Okay.
Coulter, do we want to talk to you, or should we hop back to No Kuni, Dane?
Well, I only have one
Kuni
thing to say, which is...
Let's hear that.
I mean, I've been playing a little Rocket League. Nothing new there. I feel like I'm close to the champion. Yeah. You guys will know when it happens.
No.
And I will announce it to the heavens when it does. But it will happen, I hope. As long as I get to play it.
You seem close.
I don't really get to play that often. Or, I mean, I could just play whenever I wanted, but like I have other stuff to do. Okay, I'm an adult. All right.
And then of course, when we're on,
that's the other
other
thing.
stuff.
And if I even so much as allude to wanting to play Rocket League instead of
by yourself
with you guys, then I will get roasted.
Listen,
and
if you're in the same party, you're playing the same game.
Listen, that's the rule that you set up, and I never agreed to anything.
There's been I can count on one hand the number of times that we've played something different when we're in the same party.
That's right.
And it's unacceptable.
And I was lambasted immediately. Anyways.
You face the wrath of God.
You're not God.
I am.
Okay.
I am.
And now we're at the root of the problem.
That's right. We played some PUBG, and we won a match.
Hell yeah.
As the boys.
Oh, I didn't
not
contribute.
Really, not really too much to say about it. We got a little lucky. Like just positioning wise and stuff like that. So,
but it was an intense.
That happens a lot.
Final encounter.
Yeah,
as they typically are.
Yeah,
yeah. We had a good string. I wouldn't say a good string, but yesterday, or I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. Listen, I think
it was yesterday.
But the day we won, we played a few more matches after that, and we didn't win another one, but there were a couple times where we got close. There was one round where we had like driven pretty far. This was a round where we dropped in a place. The circle was 50 miles away from where we were. The zone like went past us, and we had to like go find a car to like drive in. Coulter and I were out of the zone for a majority of the game, to be honest.
Like over half the game.
Yeah,
probably.
And we finally made it to a house.
Me, Dane, and Jordan went in completely opposite directions. Like Dane went like east.
Yeah,
I went south, and
like circle
Jordan
around
went west, and then we literally just went for like miles. No cars.
You guys were on the complete. eastern edge of the map when I was on like almost the direct middle, further to like the west, getting my own car, and then we converged far to the south, like way in the bottom right corner of the map. When that was a really weird match because we were never really together as a group until like there were like 30 people left, or less, maybe like 25.
And then when we met up, we had like a car chase. That was pretty sick.
Oh yeah, we were going through
There's a ravine.
Yeah, we were going through
Beggar's Canyon.
Martin
Luther King Boulevard.
Trying to remember the. We were on Lake Washington Boulevard. No,
David McIntyre.
I don't remember. I hate you. I don't remember the town,
name.
but the street name. No, it was Martin Luther King Boulevard. No, like
people are gonna kill you if you don't know the name of the town. No,
I don't know.
No
but
one cares.
No, but like the town was somewhat major, and we were driving on the outskirts of it, thinking that we were going to be safe. And then I almost crashed directly into the hood of someone else's car as they were driving past us, and it got real lit. We had like a Jason Bourne-esque car battle chase on the outskirts of the city.
It was fun.
And then abandoned our car and hid in a shack, huddled in a shack.
Fun game.
But yeah, nothing incredibly special on my front. So, Dane, it's time for soapbox number 2.
That's right. Look,
Soapbox Nino
2 major releases. So
it was good. Okay, all right, guys.
You know,
thanks.
it was all right.
Thanks.
Outside of Far Cry, this game is a very. Some would say it's a far cry from Far Cry 5.
Nice. Listen,
Nino
you were
Kuni,
working on that joke for a while.
Nino Kuni 2, Revenant
Toonie.
Kingdom, to Nino Kuni Toonie. Oh my god.
Banjo Kazooie Tooie.
I don't like
3.
that. Please stop. Thank you. I'd prefer if you stay quiet.
I prefer if you stay quiet.
So Nino Kuni 2 released. This is a sequel to, who would have guessed, Nino Kuni 1 on the PS3.
Nino Uni.
Wrath of the White
Cortex.
Witch. That was a fun Wrath of Cortex. That was a fun PS3 game. Very charming.
Studio Ghibli sponsored game.
Yeah, I was about to say it's basically like a
sponsored. What does that mean?
They did a lot of the art for
and animation.
Nino Kuni 1. They're not part of Nino Kuni 2.
Yeah. Nino Kuni 1 had an art style, and I think they did a lot of the character design and general art. It's the same people that did like most of
an art style.
Hayao Miyazaki's stuff. So a lot of Spirited Away, a lot of Princess Mononoke, all that kind of stuff. The same animation studio worked on the first one, and so they carried over the same kind of artistic style to the second one, but it's not the people who did the art for the first one.
That's right.
Only they didn't add their own stuff, but it looks kind of the same.
Tell me more. Did
So,
they have
You're
a car?
goofing with the child voice. This game's for kids.
This game, well, sort of, yeah. I mean,
I love how you're so quick to pull that card.
I mean, I guess say what you will. This game is very cutesy and happy. The main character is a child, an actual child.
Is his name
Mark
Nino
one for
Kuni?
Jordan. Let's go, boys.
Yeah.
Hit him
So
up.
I mean, how old is that mouse?
He has a wife and son, so I'm assuming of consenting age.
he has a family. God damn it.
You're so like serious.
He has a wife and son.
Listen, you're on a search for Mara,
He
his
looks
wife. And his son Bryn is a
He wears a suit and he goes to a desk job every day.
he's a minstrel.
a minstrel.
Wait, hold
minstrel.
on. He's a
He's a
minister.
minestrone.
He's a minestrone of
He's
magic.
an ordained minestrone.
Yeah. So okay,
Is anyone in Nino Kuni a minestrone?
They could be. I haven't gotten that far.
Listen, I can't wait to hear some of the names of the things in this game. Go ahead.
Man, so
Nino minestrone.
So
Just wait. It's better.
Man, this game is. You could argue that this game is for children. It's essentially the way I want to describe it, and the reason I actually like this game is because it's basically like an interactive, like playable, like it's actually like a fairy. It's like a kind of like a fairy tale, and it is sort of goofy. And like at the start of the game, there's the Petty Whiskers, which are like these mice. Kind of like characters, and they have their little kingdom.
How many minestrone?
They have their little kingdom, and it's all happy and everything. And then
The minestrone's attacked.
and then the rats attack, or like whatever.
Yeah.
Like the rival other like
The
little
Ratman.
rodent
The Fire Nation.
yeah, the Fire Nation attacked. The other rodents attacked, and there's like a whole power struggle between them. And it's very clearly like a typical story of like typical story of the lesser rising up against royalty and like that whole thing. But it's in a fairy tale kind of world where everything is very happy and in typical Studio Ghibli style, even though I know this isn't done by them, everything has a lot of personality, even like from like the like it sounds goofy, but like the plants and like the wildlife and like the scenery and stuff is all super happy and like super exaggerated and kind of wild, and like the way characters talk and like their animations and stuff are super fluid and super like expressive and everything. So when you're playing this game, you're kind of just like, you just feel good. It's just a feel good game, and it's just fun and happy. And it is very childish in the sense that like you literally play as a child.
Yeah.
And what go on? Let's say it.
This is no context, but like one of the places, I don't know if this is the kingdom that the little boy king is from, but it was called Ding Dong Dell.
Yeah, that's the
some
name.
Banjo-Kazooie ass.
That's the name. That's the name of like the town that he like is from. Yeah, Ding Dong Dell. That's from No Kuni 1 actually.
That guy.
It's just so goofy.
Yeah,
It's
Ding
so
Dong
weird.
Dell. And
Brisket Briar.
Briar Briskets.
A lot of the things in this game sound like silly little like goofy like bits for someone's private parts.
Ricky Tikki Tumbo.
No, but that's what I mean in the sense that I say this is like a fairy tale, because it is kind of goofy. Like nothing in this game is like very dark or like, it is a JRPG, but so far at least there hasn't been like some scary like shadowy dude in a chair being like, we're gonna kill everyone and like summon the devil or whatever. It's like just kind of very tame, kind of like JRPG story time fare,
Yeah.
which I like. The combat is again, to go with the childish theme, the combat is somewhat simplistic in the sense that like you have your light attack button and your heavy attack button, and you have your dodge and your ranged attack, and there's a bunch of enemies that get thrown at you. It's sort of like it's just like basic like hack and slash combat, but they kind of throw in some interesting little wrinkles here and there where like as you use certain weapons against certain enemies, you build up like a percentage meter, so that in battle, like maybe even if your strongest weapon is your greatsword, it might not do the most damage against someone, so you'll have to use like your dagger or something.
Do you happen to know what the name of the magic abilities that you can use are called?
The Higgledies.
The Higgledies?
Yeah. So there's these like the best way I can describe it is do you remember like the little black sootman and the Sunkman Sootman and
Sooties.
And the Sooties and what was that,
Spirited
Spirited Away? Yeah, so there's those, and then there's like the little like
I thought they kind of looked like a little bit like Pikmin a little bit.
yeah, they do kind of look like Pikmin. They also, or like that whole
Thanks for
that whole
so seamless.
that whole idea of like those little cute, not mascot characters, but like the cutesy kind of like spirits or whatever is similar. Like Princess Mononoke, they have like the forest spirits and all that kind of stuff.
Koroks.
Yeah, Koroks are very. It's similar to Koroks, and actually the way you collect them, you have to like present like items or something to like little stones, and then they'll get summoned out of them. But yeah, they're called Higgledies. And they're like these they're extremely cute, like weird little spirit monsters. Yeah. And as you collect those in battle, when you do different things, you can like go over to them and sort of like Pikmin, they'll be like in a little group, and you can press a button and they'll do like a little move. So like the ones I have right now, one of them like they'll just shoot like healing spells at you, which is helpful. There's another one that like sucks people like into a black hole, and like it sucks all the enemies into one area, and you can attack them and things like that. But every time you do them, they like do this little cute animation, like they jump up and they like have little hats and stuff, and they just look super cute. And it's just so goofy. And they're called Higgledies or something. So I don't even know if that's exactly how you pronounce that, but they're super strange.
Higgledies.
Higgledies. And yeah, I don't know, like if you haven't seen the
Listen,
game,
you seem to know a lot about.
if you haven't seen the game in
Listen,
action,
I follow games critics and journalism
That's right.
a lot, so I know
and they've
about
been
most games.
talking all about the
Yeah.
higgledy-diddies.
Listen, I've
Well, this
seen the
game-
game in action.
yeah. So if you haven't seen the game in action, I'd recommend at least watching like a trailer or gameplay because the game is very beautiful to behold.
Yeah.
It's very pretty, very well animated, very fluid, and it's just kind of like fun to look at and play. Is it gonna win, any awards for best JRPG of all time? Probably not. But so far, it's a fun. It is. I do find myself like it's fun to play, and I find myself like just kind of enjoying what I'm watching and what I'm seeing. It hasn't gone too far past that surface level of being like a fun, enjoyable game. But I'm only like 4 hours or 4 or 5 hours into it, and I don't know how long this game is, but if I've played a JRPG before, I'm guessing I'm not very far into it at all.
Scratching the surface.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's a lot more to see. I don't know. There's even kind of moments that just make me feel like I'm playing like a Studio Ghibli-esque movie or like an anime kind of like fantasy movie because the part that I just did, you get in like these plane, like these little glider things, and you like fly. There's like this whole sequence where they're flying and kind of like doing this crazy like flying in around a mountain and crazy stuff is happening. And when I was watching that, it was kind of reminding me of like Kiki's Delivery Service or like Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind or something like that, where you're watching it and you're just like, oh, this is a very pleasant kind of like classic adventure tale.
Yeah.
Like very tame things are happening, but it's exciting to watch. And it's sort of like that, but in digestible and fun package. So I've enjoyed it so far.
Listen, it's been a while since you played a fun game.
That's right. No, it's like it's not an RPG that's deep in the sense of like Persona or like something where you're like min-maxing stuff and like changing equipment and doing all this kind of crazy stuff. Like it's a more traditional, like straightforward RPG experience, but I think it makes up for it and kind of carves its own path with its style and its presentation. So kind of like makes up for some of the shortcomings.
Adam
in that
Sessler.
regard. That's right.
I've been somewhat tempted to play it because I do like the look of it a lot.
It looks fantastic.
But I just don't know if I don't know if I'm down to play a game that doesn't like go that deep. Like I like the charming like aspect of it, but if the story isn't like gripping, I don't know if I could like stay with it for like 45 hours or whatever, because like that's too long to just play a game because it looks nice or something like that.
The story.
You'd rather play that game where you're an anime girl that leaps over like the little things. I can't remember what that was called.
I don't know.
If I could remember it, I would have just nailed that.
It starts with a Q.
Oh yeah, it was like Quora or something like that.
Yeah, Quore.
Yeah,
I
That's
think
a
it was
fucking
Quora,
great
the,
game.
The website.
Question asking
where you
website.
can ask
Listen,
anything.
Yeah.
That was basically a mobile game on the PS4, and
That's right.
It's fucking great. Okay,
Debatable at best.
don't diss that game.
Basically,
for babies.
like the general setup of the game is like you.
It's actually not. It's actually it's actually really complex and hard. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you basically are about to become king of this nation or this like region or country or whatever, or this continent, and then there's a revolt, and the rats revolt against the mice, and then crazy shit happens, and you're not going to be the king anymore, so you get exiled from your kingdom.
Yeah, exiled from Ding Dong Dell.
That's right. You can't go back to Ding Dong Dell for the rest of your Ding Dong days. and then thus you have to branch out, and the part that I'm at right now is you've decided to make your own kingdom. But that kingdom will soon be the entire world. He wants to rule the world, and he wants to be a good king for all the people.
Wow.
And so when he says that, like, that's the part where I'm saying that it doesn't seem like it's going to go very far past the surface level of, like, a fairy tale. But we'll see. I'm curious to see where the story goes, because I'm interested in the characters, and I'm interested in the world, and it looks nice. So, and the music is great. Music is really good. So, it hits all the boxes that want to keep me playing. Will it get any deeper than where it is right now? It's fun. Wait, what are your things?
Fun. You could play it forever. No. Looks good. You could play it forever.
Okay, it's fun. It looks fantastic. I don't think you could play it forever, but you can.
But
typically with a JRPG, you can play it for a very long time. So it'll get
good enough.
Yeah, so it'll be pretty good. I will continue, and I'll update more because I do want to play more of this a lot. So
All right.
no.
We'll get back to segment number Nino 2.
That's right.
Let's fucking go.
I would say
Ding
if
dong
no
dose.
one's played you guys haven't obviously played Ni no Kuni 1. I don't know if you'll ever get a chance to. Coulter, you probably wouldn't like it because I know you don't like JRPGs. Jordan, that's a great
debatable,
game.
but
Well, in this style.
I know the first one is more akin to Pokemon, like the type of gameplay. So if that tickles your whiskers.
The story in that one
has to be pretty
is
specific
somewhat
for me to
interesting,
enjoy it.
though. Like, and even in this one, there's an element of it that I don't really want to spoil because it is it's the very beginning of the game and it's somewhat interesting. No one will expect it, but with Ni no Kuni 1, you're a little boy and it's actually really sad. Your mom dies, that's in the trailers and everything, so it's not a huge spoiler. But like, your mom dies from like some illness or something, and you're really sad, and like you get whisked away to like this fantasy world.
That's
where
very
like,
much a Studio Ghibli esque movie.
It is like with the whole Spirited Away thing, where it's like I'm mad at my parents, and then she gets whisked away, and then she kind of misses her parents and all that kind of stuff. Like that's sort of like that, but in that one, like the beginning of that game is actually really sad and pretty heart wrenching, and then you get whisked away on like this magical journey, but then there's much more of like a like traditional narrative in that one where it's like a young boy trying to like grow up, but cope with grief and all this kind of stuff. But then he meets like a cast of characters that are super goofy, and like it's a little more lighthearted as it goes along. But with this one, it does have an element of that where like worlds are crossing together, and there's like a whole like modern day goes into the past, but the main character is like in that world. Like it's much more of like a straightforward kind of fantasy thing. So we'll see if I will be very interested if they touch on the like two worlds aspect of
one family.
That's right, one heart. If they do that, then I'll be very intrigued in the storyline. We'll have to see.
All right.
Yeah.
You fucking done?
God damn.
There's this cool thing called brevity.
Yeah, I had a lot to say. There's a lot of stuff.
Have you heard of trying to be succinct? Fuck,
God
man.
damn it. My
All right.
God.
We're done with video games, and now we are going to move on to our final, ultimate segment, where I am going to pull a movie.
I describe
out of
every
the bag.
plot point of Lord of the
Now,
Rings.
Coulter, can you tell me the story of Rocket League?
Now, back in the day, there was one car, and his name was Octane. Now, this is the only car that anyone wanted to be, so...
I'm going to have to cut you off.
Fuck.
We can finish the story next time.
All right. Well,
Look, that was a good,
no
that
one
was a
cut
good
Dane
intro
off, so,
to the world of Lols.
And I'm sorry, but I know it's
And
unfair.
I'm sorry.
I know it's unfair, but
It is.
we have
Look, no one
things
cut me
to do.
off, and I know that both of you really wanted to, but you didn't.
Listen, I had to interject about Ding Dong Dell and Higgledies because those are goofy as fuck.
Look, I'm glad that you brought up Ding Dong Dell because I forgot to even mention
Listen,
that.
I knew there's one more goofy term in there. It's your magic abilities. It's not the Higgledies, but it's like your magic weapon abilities. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't remember the name
It's
of
called,
them.
they're called like zings or like zooms or
Okay,
something.
well, zing is the percentage that builds up on your
Yeah.
weapon.
Oh,
you,
yeah. You have to build up your zing percentage on your
Yeah, you have to
weapons.
build up zing percentage, but then there is a name for like your like actual magic spells that you activate with the right, like the typical JRPG skills or whatever. I don't think it's anything goofy though.
No, zing is you build up your zing meter. Is
Yeah,
what I was
zing
thinking of.
is definitely a
Ling
thing.
Long Limit.
Yeah. All right. I am pulling a movie out of the bag.
I don't
From our
sign
Wacky
off
Film
on
List.
Every
day we-
but not every day.
Every day, only on Wednesday, we pull a film every
Okay, I have it.
Wednesday.
What a succinct poll.
Jordan. Look, Jordan.
Oh boy.
Night-
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Let's go, dude.
Coulter, did you just try to steal that from
I'm sorry. I saw it and I knew what it was and I wanted to say it, but then I was like, wait, hold on. I would be stealing the pleasure.
The process revealed.
me? So,
I feel like I always see it before you guys see it. Whenever
Yeah.
you guys pull it, I'm always like, oh my
I mean,
god.
I saw, like, I had
And
like
then you're
this,
like,
I was
wait, let me
Oh,
read.
this is Nightmare on Elm Street, but I had to pull it open for
That's true.
visual effect. Anyways, next week, by the time we record, we will have watched Nightmare on Elm Street. I hope our listeners watch
OG.
it as well. Yeah, the original Nightmare on Elm Street, not whatever one came out like 7 years ago or something. That's garbage.
And there's been quite a few.
a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street movies. You guys haven't seen this one?
No.
No.
I saw a crappy ass remake at Dane's house, I believe.
Yeah, I saw that one also. It's terrible.
Was that the one where it ends in the little area underneath that tool shed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
which-
remember at the very, very end, like basically credits situation, he like busts out of a mirror.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah, because
that's
she
garbage.
wakes up and she's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then he just kills her right. Yeah, okay, no, that
Which was
like
real dumb. It was like it just negated everything.
that was a bad one, and that was like the hard reboot where I think it was just called Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah,
I'm sorry that we ever watched that.
yeah, that might spoil this whole movie because I don't know if the new one strays out far from the original material. But I think this completes our. Does this complete? I'll ask as
Our
a question.
slasher saga.
Yeah, our early beginning of the genre
Halloween,
slashers.
Texas Chainsaw, Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are the big three.
No,
wait,
we still need Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Friday the 13th.
Oh, we haven't watched. Okay.
And I think if it count, or we don't have Scream actually. Scream is just a commentary on these though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of the classic horror films, this is almost our last. We need Friday the 13th as well.
Yeah.
And then Don't Breathe will be a newer version of kind of that concept.
Okay.
It's not like a
It's in the same vein, I think, from what
like a
I've
slasher,
seen as
but-
like a classic horror film, like a more straightforward. They establish
like
the rules.
no good teens are getting hunted
Yeah,
by a man that is unstoppable.
yeah. A classic,
Fun.
classic trope.
Okay. Once again, that's Nightmare on Elm Street. Next week, we'll be talking about it. Let's get out of here. But first, let's plug our contacts.
Let's do this one so succinct. I don't want to hear any
Okay.
fucking downtime.
You can find us, all of us, at itsnotsosubtle@gmail.com. You can also find us at It's Not So Subtle on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and our YouTube page where you can like and subscribe our video.
Twitch.
And Twitch, where we have been streaming lately, so please tune into that.
And our website.
And our website, itsnotsosubtle.com, where you can look at the movie list and see the films we have on there.
That's right.
And more.
I just
and
updated
more.
it today.
All right, it's updated as of this. When you look at this recording, it will be up. Let me rephrase
It will
that.
be updated other than this, probably.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street won't be on there, but we'll be watching it.
That's right.
And finally, please, if you're listening to this on iTunes, review this, give it 5 stars, give us a nice review, do anything. But also, please do send in emails. Once again, it's not so subtle @gmail.com.
Yeah. Or you can, comment
Yeah, comment
if you're
on
on YouTube. Or,
send us a Facebook message, comment on our page or something. Do anything, and we'll try to respond
Unless
to
you've
it.
deleted your Facebook by now.
Which most people will try to, but they can't. Dane,
why are you looking at? Oh, what were you looking at?
What?
You're being really scary.
he's
right
looking at
now.
the Higgledies.
Dane's doing a weird thing.
I know
Why?
he is. We got to get out of here. Dane, where
Dane's eyes are red. I
know,
don't
they're-
know what's happening.
Dane,
They
where
hurt.
can people find you?
My eyes hurt. If you want to find me, Lane DePoint on the Twitters, the Instagrams, the Twitches, the gaming services, most gaming services. If you want to find me in the hospital because my eyes are bloodshot red, just look for Lane DePoint. They'll know who I am. Everyone knows who I am.
Excuse
and then
me, nurse. I'm looking for Lane DePoint.
I'm looking for Lane DePoint right away, right this way.
Right away.
Welcome. You're
Follow
looking for
me.
Lane
Welcome.
DePoint right
Here
up
he
this
is.
way.
You open the door of the hospital. Welcome.
Well-
Here you'll find Lane DePoint.
Welcome. They just motioned me over.
Yeah.
And then of course I'm not even gonna do the bit about whatever the
God.
Encyclopedia Britannica because that's really
God.
tired. Now Jordan,
It didn't have the same shock value as Pornhub. I'll just say that.
it didn't, and I'm working on something to replace that.
Great.
It won't be Encyclopedia Britannica. It'll be
Great.
something much better. Now Jordan, take us out, please.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
sorry.
We're not done yet.
Oh,
Coulter.
sorry, Culture.
Hey,
please.
listen, I'm the host of this episode. Coulter, where can people find you?
Hey,
Hey!
guys. Go to
Yeah.
@CoulterPotter and you will find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I've been streaming on Twitch, guys. Check me out. You'll find my little face in the bottom corner. I'm still trying to figure out the best method for miking myself. Hopefully once I get, a nicer XLR microphone such as this, it'll be easier. I would use the Blue Yeti, but
Oh, shit.
there's some weird ass problem, I think, probably with the cord, the jack. So yeah, still figuring that out. But other than that, the qual is high. The qual is there.
Yeah.
And check us out on Twitch. Me at Coulter Potter. They already told you their names. Just go to @It's Not So Subtle and you'll find all of our
Right.
Twitch
Remember,
information.
if you're lost, you can look and you will find
I
us
haven't
time after time.
said my plug yet.
Jordan, where can they
If you could stop interrupting me, Dane, I would really appreciate it.
I just don't know what you're gonna do about it.
2 times now. First you mess up Coulter's, and now you throw mine under
We
the
sit
bus.
there for an hour while you talk endlessly, blah,
and
blah,
now I
blah.
can't even plug myself. I can't even plug my stuff. Listen, you just do it for me.
Look, does anyone? Yeah.
You want to? Just where can people find me?
Okay, if people want to find Jorsman's Millsmans, then they're gonna have to look to the Tumblrs at
Okay.
Oh my God.
Tenzo-Taicho.
You're butchering this. Just
Look,
stop. Okay,
no,
I'll
at
do it
Tenzo
myself. I'll do it myself.
Tenzo-Taicho. I don't need to spell it because everyone knows how to spell it. If you want to find anyone if you want to find Jordan,
You're butchering it.
If Jordan wants to find you on
God.
Twitter, it'll be the Killamilla, and on Twitch and on gaming services, and then
This is abysmal.
yeah, I got it.
If you want to find me,
I got
at the Killamilla
Jordan.
on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, where I have a
Jordan,
little
you're
bit
not
streaming.
even active on Instagram. What are you doing?
Yeah, but I have stuff on there. If you
No,
want to see my stuff.
just stop.
None
Listen,
of us are super active on
Listen,
Instagram.
I took some very nice pictures
Thou
of
shall
the.
not throw rocks at.
I'm pretty active. No, I'm not.
Yeah, all right, man.
I'm not.
Maybe your story a little bit.
And
But
look at my anime blog, Tenzo-Taicho on Tumblr. All right, that's gonna do it.
listen,
everyone.
I could have nailed that if it were me.
I know I should have given it to you, but Dane was pissing me off, so I had to test him.
Well, he took
Today
it
was
without
pissed
your
me
permission.
off.
Yeah, Dane was trying to wrest control from me, like the rats did from the Mice Kingdom of Ding Dong Dell. I'm gonna play that game. I love Ding Dong Dell. I love saying that.
Dude, that game's fun.
Yeah, I don't care.
That really got you. I never really know for sure what'll get you.
It's
but
just
that
silly.
did.
Like, can you imagine playing a game like this is the Kingdom of Ding Dong Dell? And
If I
just being
saw that
like,
and I was taking the game at all seriously, I'd be like, this is a red flag.
yeah, you'd be like, wow, it sounds like some
But the
Paw
game,
Patrol ass shite right
the game
now.
is so goofy that like when you hear
It's
that,
not
you're
goofy. It's childish.
Listen, we were so close to the end.
I know. Okay, and we're done. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Look, no, Kermit's gonna sit with me.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Can you guys say goodbye? Did you just kiss him?
Goodbye, Dane. Hey, Dane. Hey, yeah. What do you think about No Kuni?
Yeah, Kermit, I think this game's pretty cool. And I think you probably like it too because you're a frog. And it's
That's
pretty
nice.
Fun. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll play it.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of seems like a game for babies, so fuck that.
Well, Kermit, you're a little vulgar.
Listen, he's off the clock.
I just don't really like your attitude that much. I don't like your attitude.
Dane, it's time to end the fucking podcast. So, guys, thank you for watching, and good night.